Around 12 years ago. A muscular and broad-shouldered, suited man with midnight black, longish hair and honey-colored, almost golden eyes was walking down an airport lounge, pulling a compact hard-case carry-on. Beside him was a shorter redhead, about 5'4", lightly tanned, her full breasts contrasting with her slim physique. She was trying to keep up with the grim-faced male by matching his stride, and not exactly succeeding. The young girl was out of breath when they finally reached the right ramp. No thanks to her big brother walking too briskly, or the bulky backpack she insisted on carrying, despite his continuous offer to carry it for her. Diwa had always been such a stubborn and independent woman. And she wouldn't have it any other way. Neither did her big brother Meheron, but he never wanted to admit it to her face. They both paused at the gate. It was staffed by a single flight attendant behind a small counter, and there was a short line of people being processed by her. The man looked at the woman beside him. She returned his strong stare with her own determined one. And this is final, Di. You're absolutely sure that this is what you want? Yes, Meheron. I have no reason to stay. Anyway, besides, I would be more at peace if I lived my life more like a human than a wolf. You already know why. But, Diwa, we've already talked about this, brother. We even discussed it over with our alpha, and he already agreed to my decision. I don't plan to discuss this again and be late for my flight, just making you realize how much you will lose. Even the protection the pack can offer you, the pack wasn't that effective in protecting me. If that was the case, I wouldn't be leaving. Meheron answered with a huff, knowing he has nothing to counter that. Maybe if Aaron wasn't away then, he would have been able to defend her. They're close friends, and they were usually together. If only his friend's beta training was scheduled at a later date. Or maybe if I was not so busy with the new role as Gamma, then she wouldn't have gone through. I can read your thoughts via your facial expressions. No need to think like that. It already happened. So this is the most viable solution we have. We can't change the past. Again, her only elder brother huffed indignantly at her statement. He would usually do that if he didn't have a comeback available, and though she wanted to always please him, she knew she had to do this, even if it was against his wishes. Tough. I need to heal, brother, and I will heal, in my own way. Just make sure that you've explained your reasons to your friends. I will not answer them if they ask about you. And you know why, D. Understood, M. And I already have sent them messages. So don't worry. Now, I need to go. A hug, wave, and smile later. She had entered the plane and had finally found her seat. Suddenly her mobile beeped, and she realized in horror that she had not removed the SIM card. Someone may still be monitoring me. Oh, please, no. She immediately took out the SIM card from her phone and broke it in half, completely ignoring the message. Good thing her seatmate was still a no-show. Or they'll probably be looking at her with a weird face right now. Meanwhile, somewhere inside the pack house, miles away from the airport, a young man was texting a friend whom he found out had left to travel abroad. He was eager to talk to her and was quite unhappy to know that her trip had an undetermined return date. Hey D, what gives? Just returned from my 2-week beta training, and I find that you're gone. I know you've always wanted to study abroad, but heck, you could have called me before you left. All I got is the text explaining why you won't be staying at the pack house anymore, and nothing else. Not even an address. I tried calling you, but I can't reach you anymore, even on the satellite phone. Please, message me back or call me. We'll be waiting. Aaron never got an answer to his message, so he was never told the truth about why she had left. M had to make sure of that. It was for his sister's sake and safety. After all, that was one of the major conflicts between M and Aaron that they never discussed. So despite their closer, Thana-brother friendship, it remained a hidden thorn in their sides. And it still is. Let's get back to the present. Christmas had arrived, bringing joy and love to 2 new couples that had finally found their long-awaited mates. There was Vincent V. Rigel, the alpha and CEO of the Silvercrest Pack, spending his Christmas season with his seal and her twin, 3-year-olds James and Rose. Although he preferred to call his newfound mate Elena intimately, he gladly referred to himself as her Christmas wolf. And their story was quite a worthy tale to tell. Meanwhile, Diwa and Aaron were in the middle of their own whirlwind romance. They found out that they were mates while helping V and Seal, who happened to be Diwa's closest friend. Finally get together. The 2 werewolves have been spending time together, taking advantage of Di's Christmas vacation. This came as a bonus to her, for being the mate of the Silvercrest Pack's beta and the new division manager of Silvercrest Enterprises. IT department. Hope you like my place, Aaron smilingly stated while driving his Porsche 911 Carrera 4S Cabriolet in Dolomite Silver Metallic. This car had been his baby, partner, and sidekick all throughout his single life. It was a good thing that its black leather luxury seats didn't talk about the many things that had happened inside the said sports car in the past. Well now, his snazzy ride would see only one lady, Dinar. I don't think I'll pay much attention to your apartment, to be honest. She tried a seductive smile, but it didn't quite reach her eyes. What's happening? Aaron said, noticing at once. Something wrong? No. It's just been a while since I went to the pack house. I'm not sure I like the place that much anymore, she said. Oh, but that was before we knew you were my mate, right? He replied, his charming, wide grin making her feel safe and comfortable. Yes, you're right. I'm sure everything will be fine, Diwa said, echoing her mate's enchanting smile with a softer and more tender version of her own. The pack house, at that time of the year, was very lively, with plenty of decorations and activities, starting from the Yule Ball, on the day of the winter solstice, and until 2 days after the New Year's night. It included story contests, storytelling, and big bonfires right after Christmas and the night of New Year. Why is it again that the bonfire is not celebrated exactly during Christmas Eve? Dee asked. I can barely remember being so far away from the pack for more than a decade. Because Christmas is meant to be celebrated in private with family, mates, and close friends. The bonfire is for the whole pack. True, I remember now, the pack ways. Diwa sighed, not really wanting to remember. Well, this year will be special. First, because I found you, and we have time to be together. Then, during the bonfire, the alpha will be announcing that he has finally found his mate. And so will I. So all three of us, including your brother the Gamma, are finally with our mates. Everyone at the house will be so excited about that news. Oh, really? I don't believe the she-wolves will be so excited to meet the beta's mate, Di said, raising one eyebrow. I mean, you did say that some of those you had dallied with. Cherry Tart, come on. They really are happy for us, believe it or not. Our story was even submitted to our bonfire celebration storytelling contest. Oh, really? Why? It's a story of pure love and transformation. I mean, look at me. I'm a changed man because of you, he crooned, putting on his most innocent and angelic look. Whoever sees you now would really think that you're harmless and innocent. Diwa laughed. I am. Well, now I am. Sure you are, my love, of course, she interrupted, still giggling, when they finally arrived at the pack house. It was already dark. He took her hand in his then raised it to his mouth and kissed her fingers without breaking eye contact. He let her see the passion in his eyes and in how his lips lingered on her knuckles. The tickling sensation that the contact produced and the way he was behaving made her giggle again. She was completely happy, without any worries, and felt truly protected. Such a contrast to how she felt the last time she was at the pack house. It was a feeling that she kept burying by concentrating on how her mate made her feel. But no, it kept peeking out despite her trying to ignore it. They took the lift to the upper floors of the pack house, where the apartments of the higher ranks were. As soon as the elevator doors closed, he attacked her. Pinned against one of the mirror walls of the small metallic box, she hungrily returned the kisses that he was impatiently saving all throughout their long drive. Her wine-colored dress, shorter in front, long in the back, covered the masculine hands that were now about to remove the small thong that she was wearing. Nothing would have stopped him. Not even the bell that indicated that the elevator has arrived at their floor. Isn't this our stop? She said, almost laughing between hungry kisses. It is, he said without stopping. Then, shouldn't we go? In a minute. The elevator closed, and his hands continued teasing her weak spots, making her moan and writhe against him. He had already released his own hardness from his pants when the lift's doors slid open again. A guy and a girl, seemingly friends, stood right outside the elevator. Nudity was no problem for wolves, nor public displays of affection, lovemaking included. Yet, it was still uncomfortable to be watched while you were in the middle of so intimate a moment. That went double for DI. And it had nothing to do with the fact that the pack knows that she's the Gamma's sister. Excuse us, Aaron said, rearranging his clothing and trying to hide his hard-on from sight. Too late, though. The lady who had boarded the lift with her male friend had a hard time looking away. Unfortunately for the guy by her side, he didn't seem to be able to look away either. Obviously, the lad was totally uncomfortable with his reasons for staring. The two mates finally arrived at their floor again, and were swift to leave the staring couple behind. Aaron used his key first to open his front door. After he pushed the door wide open, he placed an arm around Dia's shoulders, and the other behind her knees. In one smooth, unexpected movement, he took the lightweight girl in his arms. Di squealed and buried her head into her mate's shirt, her moist lips and warm breath, raising Aaron's passion several levels higher. Expertly and carefully, he managed to bring her through the doorway, despite her putting up a fuss. Aaron, wait. Oh my gosh, don't drop me. The door closed behind them as he silenced her with a hungry kiss, while still holding her in his arms. Never, my sweet. I will never let you go. Payback. Maharan was happy to have Alexia back at their pack house apartment for more than the usual weekend, thanks to her Christmas break. V has always been more lenient with his wife, and for good reason. He is the Gamma of the Silvercrest pack. After all, besides, they were mostly busy with their chosen careers, so they hardly had time for each other even when they were together during the weekends. She being a psychiatrist, and he a lawyer, they have been known to work on cases together, even on their days off, and today was no exception. Apparently, I'm glad that you're willing to meet with me despite the holidays. Myron, you too, Raquel. Hello, Mr. M. Long time no see, missed our missions under you. Indeed, Gamma. We are wondering if you'll be giving us a chance to work for you again now that the CEO's office is on break until a few days after the New Year's season. That's exactly why you're here. I believe that my sister and her mate are about to encounter quite a huge problem in the next few days. As you both well know, my sources are hardly wrong, and my analytical conclusions have very high chances of actually happening. So that being said, your services are greatly required. Oh, is this like the mission with Mr. V when he wanted to win his mate? No. This is of a different nature, and should be considered highly classified. Here is the USB drive that contains all the details of this case, and you are never to share this with anyone, under any circumstance. Wait, not even the alpha, Myron stated, surprised. Number at least. Not yet. Come to the table, Aaron called. Dinner is ready. I don't want to eat, Diwa said from his bed, wrapped in silky sheets. He walked to her, wearing only his silken black pajamas, and carefully dropped himself on top of her. You don't want to try my cooking? He said, kissing her lips, and then biting her neck, where he hopes his mark will be at some point soon. I want to try many things with and from you, but right now, food is not one of them. D.I. You said you were hungry, not for food. Ahaha, but how long ago did you eat? Come on, join me. After that, we can continue where we left off. I don't want to get up, she said, pouting. Okay then, he shrugged. He then took D.I. into his arms, still wrapped in his blanket, then stood up to bring his protesting and reluctant bundle to the dinner table. AAA. Oh no, Aaron. Okay. Let me put my clothes on first. Are you sure? I think this sheet suits you. You look beautiful in it. She shyly smiled and whimpered, her cheeks turning a bit red. Please, put me down. I'll get dressed, then join you at the table. All right, but if you take too long, I'll come and get you. Without the sheet and maybe with some ropes and a gag. Okay, understood. Soon, she was walking into the dining area as she was slipping into her dress and leaving her underwear in the bedroom. I can't believe you cooked all this. He had a bottle of Whispering Angel Fruity Rose in his hands. At her approach, he turned and offered her a glass. A wink and a charming smile later, and she melted her completely. He then placed the bottle on the table while guiding his lady to her chair. Thank you, she said. In front of her rested a sumptuous plate of medium-rare, grilled salmon on a bed of mashed sweet potato and parsnip. The roasted green beans, cherry tomatoes, and asparagus, slightly seasoned with aged balsamic vinegar, were all looking so fresh and inviting. She was thoroughly delighted with how he was taking all the time and energy to make sure that she was pleased in every possible way. And he was definitely succeeding. This is amazing, Aaron. But you put so much effort into all this, and nah, treating my mate is no effort. Your smile is the perfect payment that you can give me right now. Aaron took his place by her side as they ate. They chatted and laughed while looking at each other in ways that words cannot describe. He's perfect. He's the only man in the world that can make me feel like this, she said in her mind. She's perfect. I know she's the only one in the world that can make me feel this way. He thought as well. That's why they're mates. After the main course, he quickly went to the kitchen and came back with 2 smaller plates. Fruit and custard tart with sugar glaze. How did you know? Oh, I have my sources. That's sweet of you to actually help your beta out. V. Well, he deserves a break, Elena. After all, he plans to turn over a new leaf and he needs all the help he can get, said the alpha as he checked his phone for Aaron's reply. Thanks, V. And tell Seal I'll be buying her kids something special in exchange for all the info she can give. Love you both. Seal checked Aaron's response and sighed. Why do you Silvercrest men seem to always show your appreciation by buying stuff? It comes naturally. I'd even give you my roadster as a Christmas gift if you want it. The single mom's eyes popped open. What? Why? Because I love you. I only need one car, and I know you love the Roadster. So, are you interested? Dee woke up to an empty bed. Checking her phone, she noticed that she had slept throughout the morning, and it was about 11 a.m. now. She tried to wake herself completely, and the smell of freshly brewed coffee from outside the bedroom helped a lot. Good morning, love. Aaron smiled as he peeked from the kitchen. What do you like to have for breakfast? I usually don't have breakfast, so I'll eat whatever you have. Wait, you didn't cook for me again, right? Please don't. You're overworking yourself just to spoil me. Candy cane. If I don't overwork for you, then for whom should I? Di bit her lip, since his answer took her by surprise. Okay. What do you have there? I'm now feeling hungry for some reason. Aaron laughed and removed his apron as he walked back into the bedroom. Oh, I know the reason. We can keep at it if you want, once we've finished our meal. She giggled aloud as he fell back into bed. He playfully hugged her naked body and buried his face into her neck, getting high on her scent of adenium and lemongrass. His wolf was going crazy at this point, and he had only one thing in mind. Aaron, let me out. Please, I want to be with Opal. Onyx is asking me to let him see his mate, Cheesecake. What do you think about going for a run to get your wolf out for a while? There's still time before the bonfire later tonight. Well, I don't think I should deny her seeing her mate. She has been shamelessly begging me for the chance since we have been at it for hours. So maybe after breakfast. Only if you want to. Cupcake, not pushing you at all, okay? Thank you. But it's not you who's pushing, Dee laughingly said. It was an hour and a half later when they were finally running as wolves into the more forested area of the pack's property. And of course, there were more things to do than just run. As Onyx and Opal spent those long amazing hours together, one or two shadowy figures were positioned downwind from where they were. These hidden watchers were carefully taking shots, both video and images, of the two unsuspecting wolves. Well, they didn't stay unsuspecting for too long. Wait. I smell someone nearby. Onyx mind-linked to Opal, and I don't think I recognize them. Instantly, both Aaron and Onyx merged and shifted to werewolf form. This werewolf still sported Onyx's dark brown fur and Aaron's amber eyes. His height and size, however, were obviously larger than either one. The same can be said about his fangs and claws, and looking at his ferocious pose, it's easy to see that he was ready to use them. Meanwhile, Opal found herself whimpering behind her mate, memories of an attack in the far past suddenly crowding her thoughts. She was unable to shift to her werewolf form since her human, now huddled in one corner of their mind due to a paralyzing fear that her memories ignited inside them. Diwa, please merge. I can smell danger in the air. No, Opal. I never wanted to go back to wolf life. Because of this, please, don't force me. Suddenly, the she-wolf found herself in the arms of her werewolf mate, and was now being carried against his wide, muscular chest, while being swiftly rushed back to the pack house. Did you feel her fear, Aaron? Asked Onyx worriedly. I did. And it's more like terror, Onyx, replied Aaron. Later, upon arriving at his apartment, with the light brown wolf still trembling in his arms, he immediately shifted back to human form and coaxed her to do the same. It took a while, but when she finally shifted back, Aaron carried her like a baby and placed her on the bed. He then tossed a thick blanket on top of her, then sat beside her on the bed, his hand feeling her forehead and face. She was so cold and shook like a leaf, so he decided to get warm compresses from his first aid kit. However, he was stopped by 5 frigid fingers holding his wrist. Aaron. He heard her muffled voice under the sheets. Can you please hold me? He was quick to obey, the worried look in his eyes very obvious to his mate. She was quick to embrace him tight, the terrified look in her eyes very clear to her mate. Diwa, shh, it's okay. I'm here. I won't leave you alone. Don't worry, he whispered. Is that a promise? She sobbed. It is. Angel cake. I swear it. And if I forget this oath, feel free to punish me for it. Try. Nighttime had finally arrived. The bonfire was now lit. Most of the pack members were already milling among their friends and family as they enjoyed free food and drink. Care of the pack's kitchen staff. Seal and V stood together in a special spot reserved for the Alpha, with the babies in their arms. The Alpha greeted the people as they made their way to him and his newly found mate. Seal found it a little overwhelming as pack member, after pack member was introduced to her by her proud and beaming mate. However, the warmth of each individual that approached her created an odd sensation within her, a sense of familiarity, even a sense of belonging. Oh, my goddess, Elena, I'm so glad you're here. said a squealing feminine voice behind her. Seal whipped around to find herself face to face with V's sister flanked by her family. Lena. Oh my gosh. Hello kids, Sergey, how are you? I'm so happy to see you all again. Actually, all of us are, chuckled V, as he watched James trying to climb down from his arms just to greet one of Lena's two small boys. Lena couldn't stop gushing. How long will you be staying? Don't go home at once, okay? Now I can take you to the pool and the gardens with the children's playground. They will love it. Oh, have you toured the pack house? My goodness, I can't wait for you to come live with us. Live with us? Like here, Seal thought, momentarily freezing with Rosie still in her arms. Lena felt Seal's uncomfortable pause. Don't tell me my brother hasn't asked you to come and live with the pack. He has, well, not directly. It's too soon, Lena, V interjected. I'm letting her take her time. After all, it's not that easy to leave everything you know and exchange it suddenly for something you never even believed existed before. No, it's fine, V. And it's okay, Lena. The place is huge and it's beautiful. The kids are loving it as soon as they got out of the car. Oh no, don't worry. You don't have to say anything. Let's just enjoy tonight. Then we can have the kids enjoy the day with us. All right? Lena smiled in an effort to ease Seal's discomfort. Seal nodded. But the awkward feeling wouldn't go away. She just wished she could talk to someone here who would understand her better. I'm missing you badly. V said you would be here. Please, I hope you really are nearby. Hey D. Aaron soothingly whispered to his mate, who had fallen asleep in his arms. The woman, still wrapped like a cocoon in a silvery whitish blanket, slowly opened her green eyes. She found a pair of light brown eyes gazing worriedly at her. Love. Would you like to go with me? I need to just be seen since I am the beta, and then I can come back to you. Unless you want to come with, that is. Can you manage, Diwa? If you can't, you better stay here, Opal suggested. No. I want to be near him, all the time while I'm here. I can't feel safe without him, Di answered her wolf. You know, I've been thinking that it would be nice, since I'm here, to say hi to my parents. I think I'll go with you, she replied with a brave smile. Aaron smiled widely. He felt relieved that his mate was better now, and her even suggesting to join him after that weird incident and her unexplained panic attack. That's good. But I still need to find the time to ask her why she reacted the way she did. I would ask Marharon, but he still hasn't made himself available for his promised man-to-man talk with me. Then, let's go get ready. Want to shower with me? He joked flirtatiously. Her small smile was a treasure to see. If we do that, we're not going anywhere. You're right, he chuckled, kissing her. Then I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay, I'll get dressed while waiting for you. Aaron suddenly turned around. What did you just call me? Since I am called DI, you're Alpha, V, and the Gamma. I think it fits that you should have that nickname too. Her mate, with his tousled light brown hair and neat, light beard along with his naughty smirk, making him look more roguishly handsome, looked at her with amusement. She watched him heave a sigh, expanding his brawny chest even more, and she felt herself melt and go warm. And he noticed. Don't get dressed yet, D, Aaron growled. The amused look now replaced with an intense stare. I don't think I need to shower either, just as long as we can still go to the bonfire. Then that's fine with me, she replied in a husky, longing voice. It took them about 15 minutes to stave off their own fires, so they could finally get to the pack's bonfire. With clearer heads and wider smiles. When Diwa and Aaron finally went out and joined the rest of the pack, Dibai was surprised to see her closest friend and coworker Seal standing with the Alpha. The babies were around her, happily playing with Lena's kids. All this in the midst of loud music, greetings, chatting, and other fun noises. Oh, wow, look who's here, Diwa exclaimed, truly delighted, but struggling to make herself heard above the din. Auntie, happily screamed James. Auntie D. Rosie followed, and they ran towards her. Die! Excitedly shouted Seal as she let go of her mate's arm, and met her dearest friend with open arms. Meanwhile, the Alpha and his Beta greeted each other with their own brotherly hugs and slaps on the back. They then turned to their ladies, now chattering cheerily with each other, complete with wide, heartwarming smiles on their faces. I was wondering where you were. Now it makes sense, teased V, while chuckling at his Beta's slight blushing. Shut up, dude, Aaron answered, laughing and getting even redder. Wow, the charmer is blushing over a woman. I have never thought it possible, but here it is. A Christmas miracle indeed. V? Come on, knock it off. You know she's special to me, okay? Well, you're not the only one with a Christmas miracle. So yes, don't expect me to stop talking with you about it. Talk, not tease. That's two different things altogether. Yes, very different. But the word tease seems to fit your reputation, Beta. An unexpected but familiar voice said. Both Alpha and Beta suddenly turned their attention to the Gamma, who had managed to walk up to them unnoticed. To this day, how M could do this trick to werewolves still remained a mystery to many of the pack members, even to his best friend V and Aaron, his bro. Well, hello M. V smirked at his very dependable, but stony-hearted Gamma. Isn't it too early to be tipsy, man? I agree with the Alpha, Maharon. And what's that supposed to mean? The Alpha did notice that Maharon had become more open to emotional outbursts after finding his mate around 2 years ago. However, he seemed to be reverting to his soulless self after he got to know about Di and Aaron. I need to have a talk with him about this soon. I can't have a repeat of the fight between my Beta and Gamma days before Christmas. It shouldn't be happening again this new year. What? About you being a tease, drawled M. His smirk deepening and his eyes narrowing. Well, aren't you, bro? Aaron's eyes were about as narrow as Maharon's by this time. I was bro. You know that I've stopped doing that when I finally found my mate. Our last mission was proof of that. Besides, it's not my fault that my mate happens to be your sister. M. Yes. But that's just part of the evidence against you. The bigger case is if you will be a good mate to her. Evidence against. What? You are drunk. Isn't this supposed to be a party where being drunk is partly a requirement? Meanwhile, what have you done for your mate since you've met her? Drill her continually? You haven't even asked me for that talk between us. Aaron. Wait. I thought you were going to tell me when we can have that chat. See? Not even responsible enough to ask me about why she left the pack even if I already gave you a chance. Pathetic. What the... I was planning to ask her. Planning. So you still haven't asked her. Looks like that. Talk will have to be done now. Alright, you two. Enough. V snapped authoritatively at both men, suddenly aware that a few pack members were already curiously looking their way. Yes, Alpha, I agree. Enough of this, M. All three looked at the source of the angry statement. Diwa, love. It's okay. No, it's not okay. A. She said in a livid but low tone while suddenly holding on to her mate's strong, sinewy arm. I believe my brother owes you an apology. Why should I say sorry to him? I'm not the one who's being indifferent to your situation, D.I. If he really knew you, then he wouldn't bring you here without him knowing the truth. Maharon hissed. It's my choice not to say anything about that. And I mean it, brother. I will leave and go back inside his apartment if you don't say you're sorry. Diwa hissed back. D.I., calm down. Really, I'm okay with him not apologizing to me. Don't act like some chivalrous prince just to make yourself look good. Beta, I'm fine with being the bad guy here. So, stay, sister. I'll be the one to leave. Maharon, please don't do this. M, no. V seconded Aaron. Sorry, Alpha. Until I see the Beta act like a true mate. I'm not considering him family, M snarled. Whirled on his heels, then walked swiftly away from the group. Shit, Gamma. Wait, Aaron called. D.I.'s grip hardened on his arm. Don't bother with him, A. I'll be introducing you to my parents now. At least they would understand what a true mate really is. Come on, mate. Seal and V looked at the two as they walked away from them. One had an astonished look, while the other had a small smirk, which she flaunted proudly. Close your mouth, love. Flies might go in, said an amused female voice. Is she really like that? V replied after a long pause. Always. And that's why we're best friends. Is that a warning or a threat? Seals flashed her man a naughty smile. Both. Tai-bai. Maharon walked down the pathway towards one of the side entrances of the pack house, when he felt a presence in the dark, and it was fast approaching his position. Intending to attack him, he waited a couple of seconds before immediately crouching down. His attacker dived toward him just then and missed him by a fraction of an inch. The long-haired adversary smoothly landed on her hands, and then her legs twirled, her heels aimed at his face. Her first hit connected solidly with his chin. He got a hold of her other leg as it approached his nose and pulled her down to the hard brick-layered path. He heard her gasp of pain upon her landing. Maharon now dived on top of her, but she rolled away in time, and he painfully landed on the pavement as well. She took this chance to run into the darkness, but he flipped upright, was on his feet in one swift movement, and was soon sprinting after her. Because of his speed, he overtook her easily. Then the Gamma barreled into his escaping assailant. He brought her down and pinned her with his hard-muscled body against the soft grass-covered lawn, within the unlighted parts of the packhouse gardens. Do you surrender, wife? I never surrender, easily, husband. True. So expect me to be relentless and ruthless, beloved. The darkness was the perfect place to hide the torturous punishment Maharan gave Alexia. It would be daybreak when they finally retired to their apartment. Finally sated and with added clarity of what they need to do next. As promised, Deanne and Aaron were soon back from a successful talk with the she-wolf's parents. Just in time for the storytelling session, too. There was a lot to eat and drink. The wolves had a very high tolerance for alcohol, and Di, along with the others, happily drank wolf wine and wolf beer. Seal, on the other hand, since she was a human, was already almost asleep after a few sips from V's wine glass. Would you please help me with the kids, guys? I'm gonna take her to the apartment now. If she sobers up, we'll come back later. If not, I'll let her sleep, Seal protested. No, just give me coffee, please. I don't want to miss the storytelling time. I agree, V. Myron and R will start telling stories soon, and Seal might miss it, Dee piped up as she continued drinking wolf wine. Wait. Myron, your personal assistant and R are here, so they're wolves too. Are they mates? Mumbled Seal, already half asleep. Yes. They are, Elena, chuckled the V, handing her a cup of strong coffee, with her preferred amount of sugar and cream. Now drink up. How is it that I don't notice these things? Seal said, sipping from the large, steaming mug. The kids came and hugged V. They seemed to be tired, but right then, a familiar voice suddenly called out, Hello everyone, welcome to our bonfire storytelling time, Myron announced in a louder and much more animated tone than his usual CEO's personal assistant voice. We have chosen 10 stories from all of those that were submitted this Christmas, and we will be performing the selected ones in 2 parts. My beautiful wifey Raquel will help me with the voices and sound effects. Everybody started cheering. Even the children of both Seal and Lena started clapping. Want to hear the story, James? Lucas, Lena's preschooler, asked in his cute and soft baby voice. James looked at him, rubbing his eyes as if forcing himself to wakefulness. He reached out towards Lucas, and they held hands. Rosie, James said. Looking back then, he took his little sister's hand. Darian, Lucas's twin, joined them too. They all slowly walked to where Myron and Raquel were, closely followed by Lena and Serg. Soon they were all listening intently to the stories. It was the most amazing demonstration of love. They completed their mating ritual, and not long after, he felt himself changing. His eyes went wide as he felt that his worst fears would become a reality. He managed to tell his mate to run, but as brave and stubborn as she was, she refused. Myron went on, telling one of the most famous tales of the pack, the legend of the moon. Diwa looked around her, taking in the picture-perfect scene of the annual bonfire, an event she had missed for more than 10 years. Before the incident that changed her life when she was 15, she never found any reason to miss these packhouse celebrations. And now, she was back, and everyone was happy to see her return, especially her parents. Maharan was truly happy for her coming back to the pack, that she's definitely sure of. Despite his supposed aversion to Aaron, however, his recent conversation with her and Aaron was quite uncalled for. That was unfair of them after all. I never even imagined my mate would be Aaron. Even now, as she felt the comforting and warm, masculine hand tenderly holding her own feminine fingers, her heart seemed to pulse with a different kind of glow. Her mind was more at ease now that she's within the company of those she considered her first family. I think it's really because of my mate that I've finally found a truly genuine reason for me to face my fears, even the same one that almost destroyed my life before. But should I tell him what happened? What if he asks if I'm ready to return to the packhouse? What then? Just then, she looked at her mate since she felt his eyes on her, and she realized it was all right. As she drowned in Aaron's soft and caring stare, I'll cross the bridge when I get there. For now, I'll just enjoy the moment. From the packhouse, 2 pairs of eyes viewed their target from their bedroom window. One sighed as the other softly rubbed the other's chest. They had just finished another torture session and were now looking at 2 people in the distance. These 2 meant a lot to both of them. You had to be so dramatic with him. I know him more than most, beloved. My aim is not to discourage him, but to fight for the one he truly wants. The singular woman that he loves with all his heart. There is more than just the mate call for people like him, and he needs to learn that if he really wants her to be with him. Yes, you would know, right? It was the same with you 2 years ago. True, he answered. No regrets. I just hoped the outcome would be the same with him. The bonfire had been a success, like the previous years. Everybody was happy, in the mood for celebrations, still jolly in Christmas. Except for 3, Vincent, Diwa, and Maharan. Di couldn't stop herself from thinking about what her elder brother was doing. She knew that he felt guilty for what happened to her so many years ago. But this way of protecting her was excessive, even for someone like Maharan Dinar. Despite their closeness, she was angry at him. She also couldn't stop thinking about what she would do to him if he continued being a dick about who her mate was. You went too far this time, brother. I thought you already eased up on Aaron, but I swear. She muttered to herself as she continued her thoughts and swearing inside her head. However, buried in the back of her mind was a niggling feeling that she couldn't ignore. This is off. My brother never gets drunk. He has such a high alcohol tolerance, even more than the normal wolf. He would have to drink a lot and continue to do so to get to the point that he was at when he argued with her. Besides, I don't believe he would do that due to emotional reasons. That's Maharan, damn it. And that wasn't all. Maharan was the third in command of the Silvercrest pack. He was so responsible with his duties and his image that even if she didn't live with the wolves anymore, she knew he would never do what he just did without a logical reason. Picking a fight with his beta too, who, even if they treat each other as brothers, is still higher in rank than him. Plus, almost disrespecting the alpha in front of everyone. She was sure that he would soon get in trouble if he continued this self-contradicting action. If not for the only two people that were above his rank caring for him deeply, and understanding him enough to forgive him for what he did while drunk, he would be in a mess already, most likely already sent to an untimely vacation. By the alpha, is that what you want, brother? To be suspended from your duties and rank? I can't understand what you're doing. Why are you so affected by this? Why are you having such a hard time accepting my mate? This is not you. Hey, pumpkin pie, why the long face? Aaron asked her as they went on their way back up to his apartment. Oh, it's nothing. Just remembering what happened tonight. Which part? Lollipop. I mean, you looked so happy until a few minutes ago. Tell me what's wrong. We can fix it. Aaron assured her with his sweetest smile while gazing deep into her eyes. I know you can, but I'm telling you now. It's really nothing, Di said as she forced a smile. All right then, Aaron answered, pushing himself to leave the topic for later. If she doesn't want to talk about it, I can't force her to tell me, for now. You must be tired then, he cheerily stated, trying to change the mood. I'll prepare a bubble bath for you. Would you like that? Warm, scented, bubbly water. A special massage after with soft music playing in the background. That sounds amazing, but aren't you overworking yourself too much? She asked as they stepped into the lift. What? Having you naked in my arms is overworking myself. Oh, goddess. Where was that job my whole life? He guffawed. Wrapping her in his arms from behind and softly tickling her neck with his light beard, she couldn't stop herself from laughing, and his smile widened at her reaction. See, that is what I live for, he said softly, then turned her around to kiss her tenderly before they reached their floor. Cai Twine Twine. Come on, kids. We need to get back to our apartment. Mommy is already tired, and I know you are too. The loud laughter and giggles of toddlers were all the answer Seal got. V, the alpha, sat beside his sister, Lena, with a big bright smile. They were the last people still sitting by the fire, along with their mates. They watched Elena and Serg running after 4 kids that were given too much candy and soda during the celebration. I've never seen you this happy, Lena said to her brother. I've never been this happy, Vince admitted. Then suddenly an unwelcome thought invaded his mind. It was the only dark spot in an otherwise perfect evening. Maharan had been my friend for my whole life. We're the same age, and in many ways too similar. The way we are with our responsibilities, the way we deal with the pack, our families, and even personal issues. What the hell is happening to you, bro? Lena saw the sudden shadow crossing her brother's face. Aha, I was wondering when you'll let that show up. Show up? What do you mean? I've known you for my whole life. Brother, don't try to hide it from me. Vincent took a deep breath. I wish I could hide it from me. A little more, and I would have had to use my rank on him, and for the first time in our lives, Len. I know, but of course, you probably figured out already that there's something more to this, didn't you? Yeah, we'll have to talk to him later. I just hope that he has a reason. A fucking good one, too. Seal approached the siblings, panting hard. She was warmly welcomed by a pair of large and longing arms, wrapping her tight as soon as she stepped into them. Tired already, princess, V joked, stifling his laughter. Whose idea was it to give them soda and candy again? She asked weakly, still trying to catch her breath. Yours, said the Regal, siblings at the same time. Oh my God, really? Stop me next time, please. You were tipsy then. But okay, I'll help you catch them so we can go back to my apartment, he said sweetly, still holding her against his toned body. It's way past bedtime after all. Bedtime. She blurted out in a disappointed tone and a raised eyebrow. Oh, you want me to say my real intentions in front of your new sister and her mate? I have no problem with that. So, we will get naked and then... Seal's hand quickly raised her hand to cover his mouth. Oh, okay, understood. Bedtime. I like the idea. Let's get the kids. V playfully tried to bite her hand as his mate's face turned crimson red. Lena giggled as Serg brought their 2 captured toddlers over, who were also gleefully laughing. Meanwhile, Rose and James took this chance to start giggling as well, running even faster to get away from their daddy V, who was now close to catching them. Soon all 8. That's 4 adults with their 4 children, were already riding one of the pack house's elevators to get to their floors. Sleep will not easily come for all of them, though. In a different part of the pack house, the Gamma was in bed with his wife and mate. Alexia was fast asleep on his wide muscular chest as he caressed her smooth naked back. As she nuzzled closer to him, her hug tightening around his firmly defined six-pack. He allowed his thoughts to drift away to places he didn't exactly like. He knew he had no choice, but to face them for the sake of his pack, his family, and his sister. Damn it, I hate all of this. Drama, but this situation will be worse if I don't complete my tasks, no matter how distasteful they are to me. If it wasn't for the confirmation I received earlier, that little unsavory scene at the bonfire didn't have to happen. At least, not yet. Alexia is here at home with me after several months, while my sister is finally back here after so many years. And that was the worst welcome I could have done. The Gamma's mobile suddenly brightened up a corner of his bedside table. Maharan reached for it, and his grim expression turned darker, despite the illumination of his phone's screen. He curbed the urge to throw his mobile back onto the table upon reading the message that was sent to him by his contact. Damn it, little sis. I hope you're ready for what's coming your way. Correction, our way. The next day, late in the morning, and after a very active previous night, 2 ladies woke up alone in their mates' beds. Both of them checked their phones to see what time it was. One rolled to lie on her back, wondering what she would do with her day, in a familiar place that she didn't feel exactly excited to explore. The other jumped off the bed and put her clothes on, so she could run to her kids since she could already hear movement outside her door. About an hour later, both were wandering around the pack house, like puppies without an owner, until they found each other. That is, Seal, Rose, James, Diwa. Oh, so happy that you're still here. Believe me, I can say the same, Dee replied, hugging her friend tightly. Did you guys have breakfast already? Not yet. V left me a note about where to find the common areas. But this place is so big, I think I'd need a map. Well, you're in luck. You just got yourself one, and she's an interactive one too, Dee announced as they both laughed. Follow me, you'll love our chef's cooking for sure. And, as Diwa herded her friend and her kids further into the house, she suddenly paused as a familiar feeling swept through her. The she-wolf glanced back, trying to look for something she's unsure of finding. Opal, I'm uncertain about it. Di, since you haven't been to the pack house for so long, is everything all right? Asked Seal in a worried tone. All right, I should stop scaring Seal. This is probably a remnant of my trauma from long ago. Something I should be getting over now, for fuck's sake. Oh no, not really, don't worry. So, what do you like, pancakes, muffins? Now that I think about it, I've never seen you having breakfast. That's because, not so long ago, we didn't have time for such luxuries. Another laugh later. The ladies were soon walking again, carrying the babies, talking about food, and reminiscing a crazy boss they once had. They hardly noticed that outside the pack house, in view of one of the many large windows, there was someone hidden within the thick leaves of one of the trees surrounding the large property. That said stranger was busily texting a report. Dai Tuan Dai. Meanwhile, at the boundary of the pack house's mountain property, I felt and sniffed out these unfamiliar presences when Dee and I were having a run near this area. As far as I know, there weren't any of these yesterday. I came back to check and found all of them in different parts of our perimeter. V was kneeling down on the ground, checking out what Aaron was pointing out to him. He was called to the northern border of their holdings, where his beta was checking apparent signs of trespassing that he and the warriors found while on patrol duty. And you found this. When? Early this morning, right before I mind-linked you. Seems like someone has been around the grounds, checking on our movements. At first, I didn't think much about it. But when I noticed that there were several tracks like this all around the border, I thought you should know. Yes, thank you, A. I don't see this as normal either. With the celebrations, this could mean they're waiting for a vulnerable moment for a rogue attack. I'm glad that we came to spend the holidays here since this could mean trouble. Yes, I agree, but what did you call me again? V chuckled, raised an eyebrow, and displayed his most sarcastic smirk. Oh, you know, just the cute nickname that your mate called you a couple of times during the bonfire last night. You don't like me using it. I just find it weird, feeling like I'm a pirated copy of you. And people already say that we look so much alike. Vince laughed at his right-hand's comment. I don't think you can copy me, bro. Don't worry. Let your mate call you whatever she wants. I will definitely tease you about it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Have fun. I'll come back with a vengeance. Their laughter lasted only a few seconds, as they returned to the serious problem that was staring them in the face. It won't do to have humans exploring the area, especially since there are indications that this part of the woods, mountainside, and plain was private property. But if it were rogues, that's a whole other issue altogether. However, Aaron was not sure if that was the case. You would think that someone left these branches and grass purposefully messed up enough for us to find out. But why would they want anyone to know that they've been here? Or maybe they're just naturally careless. For now, though, the only thing we can do is double the patrol, especially at night. I was thinking about taking Elena and the kids back to their house today, but I don't think I can leave now. Hope she enjoys my apartment for the time being, and she doesn't get too upset with the change of plans. Did you ask her to move in already? I only hinted at it, but Lena assumed that I have already given the full invitation. She felt terrible preempting me, but since they get along quite well, Elena understood. It seemed a little shocking, but my mate didn't completely reject it. I plan to take it slow because she's not a wolf, so she doesn't really know what pack life is. That's quite an understatement, and her kids being human. Well, I know. On the other hand, you probably already had that talk with DI, right? And are you completing your mating ritual this full moon? Well, I definitely want her here, but you know DI, she's independent and likes her life, her job, her new house. Yep, I haven't asked her any of that, but you're right. Since she's a wolf, she might want to talk about the ritual and us moving together after all. We're mates, right? What could go wrong with that? Yeah, what could go wrong indeed, murmured V. Neither of them, the alpha, the beta, nor the warriors noticed that quite a distance from them. Someone was watching, and he was now thinking of the many productive ideas that he had due to the fact that his DI is finally coming back to live in the pack house. That idiot Brenner was too obvious with his spying spots. No matter, thanks to that, I managed to find where he has been gathering his information, and now I have found some important details myself. The said werewolf, with the thick, dark gray fur, covered his scent and shape by hiding among the pines. What he didn't plan to hide was himself growing hard at the thought of Diwa Dinar finally returning to live at the pack house. It didn't even faze him that the reason for her return was his longtime rival. After all, he believed that the end justifies the means. The maniac werewolf viciously stared with reddish-brown eyes at the man who he called the fake mate as the alpha, and he continued to investigate the area. His mouth watered even more at the thought of feasting on Aaron Keezer's flesh, drinking his blood, and even sucking his bones dry. I'll forgive you, Brenner. After all, you've been more useful to me than you intended to be. Besides, it's time to start with my plan, and I need you for that. Very soon, the whole Silvercrest pack will see that I should have been the beta. I was loyal to my one and only mate and was always stronger and more skillful than you, rival. With a mighty leap, the wiry but very tall werewolf silently landed a good distance away from his position and shifted to full wolf, by allowing Sion, his wolf, full control. This left Kaiden free to gloat without worrying about effectively escaping. You only got the position because you are friends with the alpha, and she only wants you because you're the beta, but you just wait and see, you fake mate. I'll get what is mine when you're finally dead. After finding seats at the long, ornate dining tables of the packhouse's dining room, the two women and the twins settled down to a delicious breakfast. They sat on one of the window tables. Diwa's tray full of small plates with delicious fruit, cereal, and fresh cinnamon rolls. Seal had pancakes with fruit for the babies, bacon and eggs, fruit and cinnamon rolls too, for herself. Of course, this was the perfect time to catch up. Tell me, how are things going with him? I told him already that nothing should happen to you, or he will see my evil side, Dee asked Seal, while taking a big bite of her berries with yogurt and granola mix. Dee, he's awesome. Sometimes he feels too good to be true. Diwa shrugged. What you're feeling is the mate bond. Believe me, he's not that good a person. He's naturally cranky, strict, a workaholic and overthinker, and loving and caring and sweet. But is it really just the bond? Seal interrupted with a little disappointed sigh. He told me the bond made people want to stay with each other, but I wish he would love me for who I am and not just because of that. Oh, I don't know what he said to you, but the bond is much more than that, Seal. You're mates because you're perfect for each other. In every aspect, even when you're mad at each other, Dee explained. looking through the window. Well, yes. I do remember that feeling when I was so mad at him back then, and that was a few times too. Seal said thoughtfully. Yes. There is the pull and the irresistible sexual attraction. There is the other side too. There are those who are not happy with their mates and can end up rejecting them. Others have also hit and even kill their mates. We believe that the moon goddess makes us complement each other. But it's very much a personal decision too. It's what V sees in you that makes him really love you, which encourages him to follow through with the bond. Seal remained silent all throughout Diwa's speech. The female wolf could see that her friend's eyes were not as doubtful as before. So she continued, putting a bit more enthusiasm in her explanations. We, the wolves, are lucky enough to have the signs that tell us who this special one is. Those are the tingles, the scent, the sexual pull, along with the enhanced sensations that are almost too much to control. But that's not all. Finding your mate is like finding the place you can call home, because that's where you truly belong. Also, if he is what he is with you, it's because you deserve it. It takes plenty to be the mate of a pack's higher rank, as your mate, and mine are. It's not just for anyone really. How was it for you before Aaron? I mean, I remember you told me that other fake mate story, but I've seen you so happy with him. I don't know if I've changed as much as you, but you seem different, DI, and in a good way too, stronger, more determined if it was ever possible, and happier too. Also, I just have to mention, it's amazing that we found our mates almost at the same time. What are the odds? Seal said while taking another bite of bacon. Well, I definitely found the strength I needed to fight my past, so I believe you. And Aaron has changed completely as well. He had decided to stay loyal and faithful from the very first time we met. And well, I'm amazed at him, and I can easily love him for who he is and trust that he would do everything for me. I just wish my brother understood that too. Dai finally sighed. Remember, he's supposed to see us, hubby cat, just as he enters the pack house. No worries, wifey. I got it. Hey, what are you two doing there? How did you get inside my apartment? Oh no, we're busted. Beta, please. Let me explain. We really had no choice but to obey him. Wait, let me guess. About a quarter of an hour later, Aaron had shooed Myron and Raquel from his apartment and was soon angrily stomping towards the Gamma's living quarters. He knocked loudly, his voice even louder. Maharon, open up. We need to talk. Let's get back to the dining room. Diwa loved watching Seal's twins as they made cute noises while speaking their own language. To her delight, Rose and James were especially talkative right now as they enjoyed their breakfast. I love their Christmas white clothes. Remember, I asked you to go to work in matching holiday outfits too, and you didn't want to. I almost can't believe you got matching Christmas sweaters for them. Oh, I didn't buy them those, said Seal, slightly blushing. What, then? Who? I'm sure it wasn't that asshole X. Of course not. It was V, Seal said with a heartwarming smile. Wow, well, talking about change, Diwa exclaimed as they both laughed. You know, yesterday, V kinda talked about. And then Lena asked me directly last night if I'm willing to live here in the pack house with my babies. Diwa swallowed hard. Her mind was suddenly overwhelmed with a realization. I'm still unsure. I have my whole life going right now. The new house, a new job, but then this place is fantastic for the babies. I love to be here, but Dee, are you okay? You're suddenly so pale. A very frightening realization. Yes, I'm fine. I just didn't think about it until now. You know, Aaron being the beta, he can't exactly leave the pack house to live full-time anywhere else. We've been seeing each other when he visits my house, but this is the holidays. I know I can come here, but still. So, you don't want to stay here with him? I don't know. It feels too soon. But the problem is that he doesn't know about what I told you. The thing that happened here that caused me to leave. What? Oh no, Dee. So that's what happened yesterday, and that's what your brother meant. Yes. M knows that I haven't told A, and I'm honestly happy that Aaron didn't ask me what my brother was talking about. But I know it will happen soon. It's not that I think he won't understand. I'm sure he will. But I put so much effort into building myself after that, trying to forget. It was already so hard to tell you about it. And just staying here has been getting on my nerves. You have no idea how happy I was when I saw you here. You too. I have my reasons for feeling like that, but I thought you'd be more comfortable since your family is here. Well, you saw my brother's reaction, and do you mind if we just drop the subject? For now, Seal. I'm really not that keen on talking about it right now. But of course, no worries, D. So, if you still want to wear ugly Christmas sweaters, I'm all for it. Diwa finally said after a brief moment of silence. As Seal laughed, she joined in. But she felt her laughter was a little forced. Damn it. What if Aaron does ask me? I need to get myself together fast or try to find a way to refuse without upsetting him. I really don't want us fighting over this. Excuse me, Di. I think you need to come with me. My hubby already called V. Your mate has just gone to your big brother's apartment, and he's really angry. Di's thoughts were cut short at the mention of her mate. Raquel, oh my God, what happened? Perfect timing, Beta. Maharan nodded to Alexia, who returned the same gesture to him as she approached the door. She opened it wide, a forced smile pasted on her face. Well, hello, Aaron. My husband is busy at the moment. Sorry, Alexia, but I don't really care about what he's doing right now. Interrupted the livid Beta as he walked past the Gamma female. There you are, Em. Hello there, Aaron. You did hear my wife say, I'm busy. Drawled Maharan as he continued to go through documents while sitting behind his home office desk. The Beta only needed 5 steps to get to his target. I heard, and my concern is exactly that. What are you currently busy with, may I ask? Pack matters, which I take very seriously, as you well know. Seriously, huh? Not according to Mr. and Mrs. Malave. Pardon me. But whatever are you talking about? Don't give me that crap. Yelled Aaron as he positioned himself in front of his friend's table while holding on to its wooden edge. They just told me that you ordered them to bug my quarters. What the fucking hell is that for? And you believe them? Have you forgotten what my expertise is, interrogation? Fucking getting the truth out of people, whether it be by charm or otherwise? Now, I don't know what you're playing at, but I can smell lies from a damn mile away, and you stink of it. Now the truth, Massachusetts Heron, or all... M stood up, facing him with the same pose. Or you'll what? You're going to run and whine to the alpha like you always do. Don't drag V into this. This is between you and me. Like hell it is. If you haven't gotten your stinking paws on my sister, then none of this would have happened. She's my mate. What am I supposed to do with that, huh? Ignore it, reject her, Aaron shouted as he pushed the table into Maharan's muscular thighs. M huffed, then walked away from his table and entered the living room area. So it's true. That's the only reason you want her then. The ultimate intercourse partner, is that all she is to you? That's not true. You know that's not fucking true, Aaron exclaimed furiously, as he walked over to where M was just so they can continue talking face to face. Yes, and that's how easy it was for you to get her, right? By fucking her. The Gamma yelled back as he turned around to face the Beta. I told you before that I have yet to see you prove yourself, and you've done nothing to do that. Absolutely nothing, because you haven't even given me a chance to prove myself. What the hell do you want from me, huh? You figure it out. Maharan snapped as he was about to walk away. No. Don't you dare turn away from me, Georgia MMA. As Aaron grabbed Maharan's shoulder, the man whirled around and solidly hit his target's jaw. The Beta backed away, his vision blurring from the pain. And don't you dare use your rank on me. This is about my sister, Aaron. The Beta, still feeling the pain of M's punch throbbing through his skull, stood in front of the furious Gamma for a moment, as he tried to regain his senses. Aaron then removed his jacket and started to unbutton his shirt. Even while he held his ground, his eyes never left his bro's fiery gaze. Is that what you want me to do, huh, Maharan? Let you hit me? You weren't satisfied when you first beat me up back then at the club? Well then, go ahead, have at it, I can take it. If that's what it takes for you to see how serious I am with your sister, then do it. Shirtless, and with his arms slightly outstretched, Aaron faced the man he considered a brother and closed his eyes. A few seconds later, he heard a fierce growl right in front of him. Maharan Nuo, another masculine voice bellowed. A second later, Aaron felt his chest burn, and he suddenly fell to the floor, his hands flying to where it now hurt the most. He felt warm, sticky liquid flowing through his fingers. His eyesight was blurring, and he could hardly see, but he can still hear. Tit for tat, bro. That's all I did? M, what the hell, Myron? Alexia, get him to the Pack Hospital now. Yes, Alpha. At once, Alpha. Maharan, you stay. We need to talk. Cang. Aaron. Oh my God, what has he done to you? I'll fucking kill him. Di was now glad that she turned down Alexia's offer to join her with her kids in tow. She would never have forgiven herself if she exposed the twins to so much blood. We're bringing him to the hospital now, Diwa. It's best that you stay with him instead of going to your brother. Alexia stated, her voice and facial expression a total flatline. But your mate needs you, girl. Don't leave him. At least not yet, insisted the psychiatrist. All right. Long and deep gashes across his chest, just like the wounds I gave my brother. And just like what your brother gave to that. Opal. We've made a promise to never talk about that maniac. But it really is what Meheron did. Diwa. It's the same kind of slashes. Shut up. No more talk of that. Where's my mate, Dee? Asked Myron as he placed Aaron carefully on one of the beds in the emergency ward. It took about 5 seconds for Myron's question to register in her head. Raquel brought the Alpha's mate to their rooms. She said she'll message you when she's done. Diwa. The worried woman desperately grasped her mate's cold hand. Aaron, shh. You're going to be okay. Just hold on, all right. Don't be mad at him, please. All around the two lovers, chaos reigned as medics, and another doctor arrived to check on the wounded Beta. Myron took his leave while Dr. Alexia Dinar gave a detailed report on how Aaron was wounded, along with the warning to consider all the information she shared as classified. I know he has a reason for doing this, Diwa. I still need to talk to him. Talk, but please, listen to him too. They need to work. His wounds are a little too close to his heart. Diwa felt herself go cold, but she knew she had to step back for the medical staff to assure his full and effective recovery. As she let go of her wounded mate's hand, she felt Alexia guide her out of the room. She needed it too, as her legs were now feeling like jelly. There are just too many similarities. Aaron being half naked. Those wounds. Okay, I need to stop with these kinds of thoughts. I have to get a grip. I must, or I'll be running away from here and leaving And I can't do that to him. He's my mate. I shouldn't. Diwa. She looked up at the sound of their Alpha's voice. He sounded tired, even defeated. My brother. Is he? Alexia has already gone ahead of you. She left the minute she saw me approaching, but you need to talk to him before he leaves. Before he leaves. The phone rang. And he picked up on the third ring. Bro, the shit hit the fan. The brother is leaving. Kaiden's wicked smile widened almost grotesquely on his thin and longish face. He knew that he needed to eat more regularly, but a rogue life is not always easy. Besides, he needed to provide for his brothers like a good leader should. Excellent. Without her protector, she will be an easier target now. There will be more opportunities to make her realize that she truly needs me to take care of her. Dude, no offense, but weren't you the one who initially wanted to? Brenner, watch your tongue. You know nothing of what we had before. She's just misguided, turned against me by her brother. Well, now that he will be gone, it will make it easier for my plan to continue. Good work. This makes up for your failed spying mission during the New Year bonfire. Just make sure that never happens again, and we're good. Sure, man, I'll keep that in mind. But about your plan, click. Bren grimaced. He was hoping to talk some sense into his friend, but how could he, when he wouldn't even listen? They may have been together for a decade already, but he's afraid that his friend was losing it entirely. Sorry, bro, but I need to do something, or we might end up with more than we can chew in the end. Brother? Meheron did not stop packing even when he heard her enter the front door. Of course, he knew those footsteps anywhere. The same way he's practically memorized the footsteps, scent, and voice of every single Silvercrest pack member. And then, yes, Diwa. If you've come to stop me, our Alpha has already spoken. There's no breaking his command of suspension. Diwa breathed a small sigh of relief upon hearing his last spoken word. At least it wasn't exile. I see Alexia is leaving with you. Yes. True mates will never leave the one whom the moon goddess has chosen for them. Diwa's sadness was suddenly replaced by slight irritation. If that's your way of telling me that Aaron isn't my true mate, then I will tell you now that you are totally mistaken him. Why are you suddenly defensive then? Those are your assumptions, not mine, little sister. Just don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, enough. This is the exact reason why you're being asked to leave temporarily, brother. You doubting your own Beta. Just stop it. He has been your friend since we were children, and you're now up his gut because we're mates. You are being unfair, considering what you and Alex went through, just to be together. Stop right there, sister. May I point out that I stayed single and unattached until I found Alexia. I did not sleep around, nor do I have a reputation of being a lady killer. But he has changed. You've proven that already in his last mission. And now, he's showing you that he's willing to go through your unreasonable demands, just so he can be with me. There's something more that I need to see before I can accept him as your mate, and that I have not seen yet. And what is that? He will have to find out for himself, Diwa. Until then, I will stay out of your hair as requested by the Alpha. But remember, anytime you need my help, call me, and I will be there. She watched him and Alexia leave their quarters, with just a hard suitcase and carry all bag each, and felt her heart breaking. Again, the memories of long ago returned with a vengeance, of someone leaving the pack because of his training, and she felt so scared. And all alone, he's here with me now. That's what matters, and he promised never to leave me this time. Not this time. Beta Aaron was in the hospital wing of the very large house. He didn't expect that his bro of an entire life could have almost killed him, even if he was that bothered about his sister's choice of mate. There's something wrong. This is not like him at all. What are you trying to tell us, bro? I know you better than that. To think it was just because, I need to talk to him. Beta, you can't get up yet, an alarmed nurse said as she rushed into the room. Aaron was in the middle of removing the IV line from his arm, while holding himself upright beside the bed. I'm sorry, but I need to do something important, Elsa, and I can't do it while I'm here. Beta, what in the goddess's name are you doing? A tired and upset V yelled at his friend, rushing into the hospital room and holding the upset man up in an effort to bring him back to bed. V. No. I need to go. I need to talk to him. I know there's a reason why he's doing this, and I need to figure out what it is. Aaron, sit down now. As soon as she heard the Alpha's tone, the nurse let go of the Beta and rushed out of the room. Both men waited for her to excuse herself and quietly closed the door behind her. M left today. A. I had to suspend him from his duties. What, V? You can't possibly believe that. Yes, like you. I also believe he has other reasons for all these dramatics. And I think I know what that is, if I'm right. I can understand his motives, but I can't accept his behavior. And I'm sorry, bro, but I can't inform you about the particular dinar issue either. It's not my place to tell, Aaron sighed. Then jumped off the bed while pulling the needle from his arm. He ignored the small trail of blood spurting from his vein as he grabbed his clothes from the nearby bedside table. As he started taking off the patient's gown that he was wearing, he realized that someone had brought his shirt from M's apartment and had placed it among his other garments. I'm going back to my room. My mate needs me with her. You need to heal, bro. I'll heal in my room. I told Dia I won't leave her all alone, and I don't plan on breaking that promise even when I'm wounded. She will kill you for this. You do know that, right? Aaron put his clothes on, not caring to check on the long and thick gauze patches on his chest. In silence, V and he walked out of his hospital, and just as they got to the elevators, the doors slid open, and there was Diwa, looking down at baby James. The kid insisted on walking by Auntie D's side, because he said he's a big boy now. Behind them, Seal was carrying baby Rose, who still wanted to be a baby even if her twin brother said otherwise. All four adults' gazes met. They were so surprised, it took them a while to speak. Hello, ladies, finally greeted V, breaking the awkward silence. What the hell? What are you doing out of the hospital? Dee demanded, rushing out of the elevator as the rest of her companions followed her. You're deeply wounded and in recovery. I was going back to the apartment, Lamb Chop. I was worried about you. Are you crazy? You were worried about me. You've got 4 gigantic claw slashes on your chest. These are just scratches, Dee, and you're alone while your brother just got suspended. I know you need me, and I promised I'd be there for you. All right. You idiot, do you want to die? And Alexia said you even challenged my brother to, and now you're thinking about me. Why? Why are you doing this? Di was running out of fuel to keep her anger going. Aaron took that slight pause as a chance to embrace his very emotional mate close to his heart. The moment his arms completely enclosed her, he heard her sob. He also felt her tears wetting his shirt. Where were you supposed to be going, Elena? He asked his mate in a whisper. On our way to visit him. She's been so worried she didn't even want dinner. The only thing I could do to cheer her up a little bit was to suggest that we visit Aaron. Come on, let's leave them alone, V decided while taking James in his arms. Are you guys hungry? Yes. The 2 babies happily screamed, and the Alpha led his family to the dining room, giving Di and Aaron some needed privacy. Come on, A, Di said, using both her hands to wipe away her tears. If you don't want to stay in the hospital, I'll take care of you. They went back into the elevator, which luckily just opened its doors right then. Di. Alpha told me that M left, Aaron said while hugging her again, keeping her near him. He's such an idiot. I knew he would get into trouble if he continued with his weird behavior, snapped Diwa, feeling the tears returning. I'm sorry, I really don't want to talk about him right now. Okay then, we don't have to talk about him, but if you change your mind, I'm here. Okay, he assured her while kissing her softly. She smiled against his chest after the kiss, then noticed a small red smear on his shirt. And it was growing. Aaron, she exclaimed, you're bleeding. Oh, that's nothing, lemon pie. Don't worry, I've had worse wounds than that. Damn it. Why do you have to be so hard-headed? She cried out both in worry and anger. You're going straight to bed after a quick dinner and no buts. Oh, that sounds good, except for the no buts part, he crooned with a smirk. Are you coming with me? Diwa almost laughed at what she just heard, but forced herself to look serious, even severely irritated. I'd hit you if you weren't bleeding already. He heartily laughed at her comeback, making the red spot grow even bigger, and adding to Di's concern. We'll need to keep the rounds double until after our New Year celebration, just to make sure that any attack is contained. At the very least, we should get an early alert if something does happen. The Alpha said, scanning the latest reports on his laptop. Yes, I agree, replied Aaron as he half sat on V's table while looking at the laptop screen. The weird thing is that, right after M left, we didn't find those odd, nest-like setups in any of the usual areas anymore. Do you think it could be related to him? In any way? Well, we still don't know why he left. How are things with Diwa, by the way? The beta made a face before answering. Since Seal is still here with us, she's been a lot more at ease. This could be just me, but I don't think she wants to stay much longer. I see. It would be better, though, if we can keep her here. At least until we have to go back to our offices at the Silvercrest building. And why is that? A asked, one eyebrow immediately rising. Oh, because that way she'll still be here when her brother comes back. After all, his suspension is just until the end of the week so he can be here for our celebrations. Vince explained, half convincingly. Aaron chuckled first before speaking. Really? I thought you wanted Diwa to stay because you don't want your mate to get bored here. Isn't that right? How could you think that, bro? Am I that selfish? That actually hurt. V joked, trying to get away with his own Academy Award-winning performances. Well, it would be a lie if I tell you that I believe you, the beta stated between laughs. What? I can't believe you said that. Okay, to prove my good intentions, and since our mates might really be bored, why don't we take them to the PAC's private dance club? It's not that far from here, and it's a really great place to hang out. Let's say, tonight. There's a special party going on, an end-of-the-year rehearsal. Drill or something like that, at the Silver Floor. That sounds good. I think Di will like it too. Well, we're done here, so why don't we go look for them and ask them? It took them about 15 minutes to find both their unmarked mates. Bored, huh? Aaron said with a slight chuckle. Very much, indeed, V sarcastically drawled. They were now viewing Di Seal and her kids immensely enjoying themselves at the pool, which was about half the size of its Olympic version. Lena and the babies were there too, and all were laughing and splashing the water in random directions. Good afternoon, ladies, Vince greeted, being welcomed by James and Rosie's excited squeals. Oh my gosh, V. Look, Rossi, Daddy V. Daddy V. Lucas and Darian were soon yelling Uncle V, along with the twins, adding to the group's cheerful chaos. Bro, the children love you. You're like Santa, whispered Aaron to his alpha. Ho ho ho, chuckled V, as they walked towards the happy swimmers. Both guys got to the edge of the pool and greeted their respective mates with forehead kisses. As the kids tried to grasp at them with their small wet fingers, they were only partially successful and was soon jubilantly splashing around in the pool again. What are you doing here? I thought you'd be busy, Diwa said as she climbed out of the water. I missed you too, pumpkin pie, Aaron said, making her laugh. I mean, we thought you guys would be busy, so we didn't invite you. She countered with a shy smile while slightly blushing. We came to ask you out tonight, V explained. Oh, where are we going? Seal replied a little too readily. To a club. I hoped you'd like to dance. Beautiful. Wanna go? Oh, wow. I'd love that, but I can't, V. Why not? Because I can't take the babies to a club, of course. Vince was about to mention that the pack had a nursery when his sister eagerly piped in. Oh, don't worry. I'd love to take care of them for a few hours, Lena said with a bright smile. Really? V and Seal exclaimed in unison, both with a surprised tone. Of course, Lena replied, staring seriously at her brother. She then suddenly turned to Seal. When was the last time you had a night off? Without the kids, okay. Seal just stared back at her. It was obvious that the poor single mom couldn't remember a time that she's been out and about without her twins. Exactly, I know, believe me. Just drop the babies at my place, and we'll have a sleepover. Since your twins know us, it's best that they stay with us instead of the nursery where they aren't familiar with anyone yet. And you have to admit, no matter how much you love your babies, you deserve some time off. Preach! Dee yelled as she laughed aloud. Everyone else eventually joined in, getting into her enthusiasm. Thank you. And that's so nice of you, Lena. I have to admit that you're right. Of course I am. Don't worry. Okay, all of them will love it for sure. Dee, what about you? You think you will love it too? Aaron asked his mate, holding her close despite getting his business suit all wet with her moist swimsuit rubbing against him. Don't worry, D.I., some time off will help us feel better. Besides, paranoia is usually a problem that we have here. I'll be extra alert, I promise. Okay, let's just have some fun. Yes, Opal. We truly deserve a little break. Why shouldn't I when I'm going to be with people I love? She said, putting her arms around his neck. And people who love you, of course, her mate assured her, as he kissed her passionately in front of everyone. Meanwhile, someone on one of the balconies was listening to their conversation. She quickly started passing on her information via email to those who needed to know. Cai Bai Chuan. According to our contact, she will be going out with the beta tonight, along with Alpha and his mate. Perfect. It's a shame you don't have any idea who your source is. So far, though, all his input has been very reliable. Hopefully, I can get to meet him someday so we can add him to our warriors. Perhaps since I haven't even met him personally. I don't even know why he's helping us out. Considering our actions are questionable. Only for now, my brother. When we have earned our place in Silvercrest, you will see that I've been right all along. A few hours right after dinner, the gang of 4 adults showed up at Lena's door with 2 exuberant kids in tow. Seal still packed her twins their big backpack with a change of clothes, pajamas, snacks, even some toys that seemed enough for a week's stay. Hello, everybody, Lena greeted, and as soon as the door opened, her own twins ran out, motioning Rosie and James to follow them inside. You all have a good time now, everyone answered joyfully and affirmatively, after a 20-minute ride in a limo, thanks to Antoine, the chauffeur. They arrived at a nice fancy building of at least 20 floors. On the ground floor, a long, eager line of partygoers stood, patiently waiting to be allowed inside the wide silver-hued doors of the club. A tall, bulky man stood in front of one of the doors with the required chain barriers. As soon as he saw V approaching, he quickly removed the silver chain from one of its short metallic posts. V offered his hand to him. Good evening, Tristan. Good afternoon, Alpha. A pleasure to see you here, greeted the man with the Drax-sized body as he let Vince and Seal inside after the brief handshake. Brew. Long time no see, Aaron yelled while he bro-hugged Tristan. Great to see you. Hey, bro. Yeah, it's been a while. Been a lot of women asking for you, by the way. Well, tell them all, I'm no longer available. And that's because I finally found my mate, Aaron said with pride, placing a protective and loving arm around Diaz. Wow, congratulations, man. That's great news, Tristan exclaimed back. He then respectfully bowed as he looked at Diwa, smiling genuinely. Very nice to meet you, beta female. Diwa felt herself stiffen at the greeting, beta female. I haven't even thought of that. Does this mean I will have to take that position in the pack and finally stay at the pack house with the beta? Please don't get any ideas. Not tonight, please, no. The place was great. Classy inside and out despite the many people already dancing on the floor. It made sense of the long line that was outside. They took a round table booth up in the mezzanine, better known as the VIP area. From there, they can easily view a very well-known progressive house Dutch, DJ playing his signature live music. Seal's jaw dropped when she recognized the young male celebrity behind the turntable stage. D. Is that? Oh my gosh. Isn't he your favorite, girl? Suddenly, the said DJ looked up and waved at their table. Seal and D turned to their men and saw them returning the wave. You know Martin Garrix? Seal gasped. Done business before, V said, hiding the amused smile seeing how his mate was fangirling so much at that moment. Good one, V, praised Roth, his wolf. Thank you, thank you. About time you admitted that I'm doing something good. I said good, not great. V, Roth corrected jokingly. Of course, whatever, dude. You're not taking this smile from me tonight. Let's go dance, D. Seal said excitedly, almost jumping up from her seat. Di nodded, and was about to get up from her seat when Aaron took her hand. She looked back at him and was instantly on guard. You guys go ahead. We'll see you there. He seriously said. V nodded at Seal, and they left hand in hand, leaving D.I. suddenly feeling uneasy. What is it? Love, don't want to go dancing, she asked, trying to keep calm. Oh, I do. But first, I wanted to ask you something. Oh no, please no, screamed her mind. Sure, tell me, said her lips. D. I know you're living independently and have your life in the city, but it would make me really happy if, please don't say. Please don't say it. Please don't say it. Right then, the music drops. For just 1 second, as Erin blurted out what she feared the most. Come live with me, please. As the music resumed, Diwa went pale. The beta automatically saw the change, despite the neon lighting of the club. Terrible timing, man. And I don't think that was the reaction that you were expecting, right? I know, Onyx, but give her a moment. Oh damn, I hope I didn't mess it up. Well, you were the one who said what could go wrong, right? Just shut up for a moment, will ya? Don't jump the gun. Not just yet. Suit yourself. Erin, D. Love. Is there something wrong? I mean, with you saying yes to the marks and all, I thought. I'm sorry. But I don't want to live with you. Erin couldn't believe what he was hearing. After all the good things that have happened before and during Christmas. Now this. What? Why? Did I do something wrong, Cherry Pie? No. I mean, it's not you, it's me. You've got to be kidding me. Die, please. No, I mean it. I just can't go back to live in the pack house. I won't. Would you mind telling me why? I have too much going on in my life. To move right now. Oh, that's such a great excuse, Diwa. Now he'll think that we care more about your job than how much you love him. Opal reprimanded her. Dee ignored her as she felt her heart break, seeing Erin's hurt in his eyes. Oh, I see. So, I was good for a few days off, but not for living with me. The man snarled. Be honest now and tell me, what is it that's stopping you from staying with me for keeps? I can't tell you. You don't trust me, Dee. Is that it? Come on. I think I deserve at least an explanation. Or do you believe what your brother said about me? Huh? The women in my past? It's that, isn't it? Damn it. Leave Maharan out of this, okay? You're defending him now. So, you're finally convinced that he's right instead of giving me a chance to prove myself to you. It's nothing like that. You just don't understand. Hissed Di, gritting her teeth. And how can I understand if you don't tell me? He blurted out, finally raising his tone. Di, say it. He's our mate. He'll get it. Come on, if you can't just give me control, I can tell him myself. Something happened around the time when you left for training. So many years ago. Yeah, and what has that got to do with it? Snapped Erin angrily. Are you blaming me for leaving you? Diwa suddenly felt like he just slapped her. Her body began to shake while her hands started to turn cold. But the rejected beta didn't notice her reaction at once since he was already hurting. Look, it's so obvious that you're just forcing yourself to tell me this. I'm not blind, Dee. You're not even trusting me enough to say it willingly. You're wrong, Opal. This is not the right time to tell him. I don't think there will ever be a right time. Diwa, no, please. We can't do this to him. And what is he doing to me, Opal? I can't tell him about that while he's like this. Meanwhile, the bewildered beta has now started to sense her reactions and couldn't see why she was acting like this. Unfortunately for both of them, his emotions were eating up his interviewer's logic, and his pain was pushing all of his concern as a mate out the window. Why the hell is she reacting like this? It's a simple yes or no. Is she that afraid of commitment that she would do this to me now? Is that all there is to it? Random panic attacks because of me leaving her back then? It's just like the day we let our wolves out. But is that incident even related? Diwa, seeing that Erin was getting more frustrated with her silence, decided to just do the next best thing. The one thing she has always done in her life, whenever things get too much for her to handle. I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk anymore. It's fine. You obviously don't want to hear me out, she tearfully gasped, taking her purse, then rushing downstairs. Diwa! Erin belted furiously, his chest twisting from a pain worse than from the gashes he received days ago. What the hell, damn it? Erin, what did you do now? What did I do now? I don't even understand what happened just now, Onyx. And you're just gonna stand there. Go after her, Erin. Erin got up, then stopped midway through the mezzanine space. He inhaled deeply, turned around, then walked over to the VIP bar. No, Onyx. She doesn't want to be with me, right? I'll let her be for now. What, dude? I know you're hurt right now, and I can feel it, okay? But I don't think leaving her alone is a good idea. Something might happen to her, and she's a Fight King werewolf, Onyx. Besides, we're half an hour away from the pack house. She'll probably get a taxi and then sleep at her parents' place. Aaron? I have a bad feeling about this. Go after her. She's smart, strong, and she doesn't need me now. Shut up and let me drink in peace. Type hi. Twy. After leaving the club, instead of asking a host or security staff to get her a cab, Diwa chose to walk a little. She needed to clear her mind and let her hurt cool down. Besides, she was sure that there was no danger at all. If she got too far from the pack house, she could always give control to Opal and go into wolf form, unknown to her. There were shadows lurking and observing her from a distance, waiting for the right time to confront her. Why did he have to ask me right now? Everything was going great, and it's not even that I don't want to, but... The she-wolf murmured, still sorely mad and upset at her mate. Well, the problem wasn't that he asked Di, but that you refused to tell him the truth. I know. I just don't want to go through that yet. I'm such a coward, I know, but he didn't exactly help me open up, Opal. Besides, what happened to me then? It still feels so fresh. Like it was just a month ago. I'm sorry that I wasn't there yet, Dis. I would have helped you then. I know you would have. But I was just 15. I wasn't old enough to have a wolf, or even have him as a boyfriend. I mean, how sick is that? He was 17, but he already had a wolf. Then he tried to day that asshole. I just wish they killed him then. But he got to escape and Di. Not to alarm you, but I feel as if we're being followed. Wait, is it Aaron? She stuttered, the fear instantly returning. No, it's definitely not our mate. Di, walk faster or get a cab, now. Hiya, Gabriel. Hey bro. How have you been? Been a little busy, but everything's way okay. Boasted Aaron with a fake smile. I see. Knowingly stated the bartender, already aware of that tone so familiar to men who wanted to hide their problems. And what's your poison of choice today? Beta. I'll have the strongest you have. Don't hold back, Gabe. Sure, coming up. Meanwhile, on the other side of the club, the other couple was having a great time, dancing, laughing, and flirting with each other. Until Seal felt that something was off. You look worried, princess. What is it? V loudly spoke near her ear in an effort to be heard over the blasting music. I have a bad feeling. Isn't it about time that Di and Aaron joined us? Oh, I wouldn't worry about them. Every time we went out with Aaron, he would disappear 15 minutes after we arrive, because he would be charming the ladies. By now, he and Di are probably doing their own thing. Love. Still, I have a bad feeling. I don't know, but I feel there's something wrong. We can go check them out, if you want. You don't mind? Not at all. Let's go. They found no one at their table. They couldn't find their friends in the restrooms, the dance floor, or the lounge. After a while, they finally got to the exclusive bar. The bottle in front of Aaron was empty, while he was already half asleep on the metal and glass countertop. Totally drunk. Hey. What's going on? Where's Dee? The beta's answer was muffled, since he didn't feel like raising his head. V, I asked her to live with me, and she flat out refused. Then we fought, and it got so bad that she left. What? She left. And now very upset, Seal yelled. You let her go out on her own. Why would you do that? I just told you. She didn't want to be with me, so I let her go. It's fine. I knew I didn't deserve her anyway. Dude. Why the hell didn't you go after her? I can't believe you just sat there drinking while your mate is out there all alone. V lectured him worriedly. Seal was now livid. I'm trying to call her now, but she's not picking up. Aaron Keyser, if something happens to my friend, wolf or not, I'm going to kill you. And I'm gonna let her, V piped in. What's got into your head, Aaron? Damn it. Let's go. We can try looking for her with the car. They walked out. V half carrying Aaron, while Seal kept calling Diwa on her phone. She's still not picking up. Damn it, Dee, please. I hope to God you're not in trouble right now. Even if Diwa wanted to follow the instructions Opal gave her, there was not much of an alternative for either command. Only a few cars passed her by, and there were no cabs to flag down. Other than the said vehicles, there was hardly any movement around her. Besides, her being alone was starting to bear down on her. Her traumatic memories are now attacking her, and her mind had started to freeze. It was like that day. For some reason, there was nobody around the workshop out building that day. Why wasn't there anyone around then, and why is there nobody around? Now, D.I., whoever he is, he's getting closer. Give me control so we can run. Unfortunately, D.I. was no longer responsive. Her feet continued moving, and her wolf kept calling in her head. trying to push her way out of Di's consciousness, but she couldn't. Her human's mind was now completely clouded with what happened on that fateful day. Along with the fear, the disgust, the helplessness. Suddenly, Diwa felt a strong hand grip her arm and roughly pull her into a narrow alley. She gasped in terror as she saw the tall figure that she now faced in the darkness. "Oh, look who I found. It's my beautiful mate," Kaiden whispered. He firmly embraced her as he slid his tongue from her cheek to her ear, then ending on her shoulder with a teasing bite. Then he pushed her forcefully against the wall, pinning her soft body with his hard bony frame. He breathed deeply, taking in her scent while feeling his dick grow bigger and harder. And he wasn't the only one who could feel this. "Di, let me out." Forcing her mind to respond out of fear, Diwa closed her eyes tightly and let her wolf take full control. Opal shifted to wolf, fell away from the monster's embrace, and ran at top speed away from him. The maniac stood there a moment, looking at her wolf phase running as fast as she could. He laughed derisively, then shifted to his dirty gray wolf form. He then went speeding after her. Kaiden didn't worry much about her escaping. After all, he never went hunting on his own. Opal was now very close to the nearby forest tree line that surrounded the pack's property. Suddenly, she felt something lunge towards her left side. She and whatever it was that hit her tumbled together on the grass. Shaking her head to recover from her dizziness, she noticed that the perimeter's beacons along the trees were already right in front of her. So near, and yet so far. She tried to get up from under the heavy figure on top of her while hair-raising howling resounded all around her. 5 more wolves have now come out from the shadows and were now surrounding her. Their furs were so dirty that she couldn't make out their colors. And none of them she recognized, except for the one who was now on top of her. He changed back to his human form while showing off his arousal to the struggling Opal. He grinned lustily at her as he sat on her body, trying to keep her immobile under him. "Diwa, for the love of the goddess, merge with me, so we can fight." Opal tried screaming into her human's mind. No response. Again. Meanwhile, Kaiden remained gloating on top of Dia's wolf. He knew she was at his mercy, but he knows he didn't have that much of it. The would-be rapist didn't care what shape she had. She was still his in his mind, and he was that eager to consummate, after being thwarted so many years before. "My beloved mate, please show me your human form so I can make love to you, as we almost did the day that we were rudely interrupted." Opal still tried to fight him, biting and clawing, but it was of no use. She was unable to stand, and her cursed attacker was now touching parts of her wolf body in a not-so-decent way. "Diwa, my love, if you don't change, I will have to take you in your wolf form. I have no problem doing that, but I didn't realize that you like such a thing. Please change. I want to see your pretty face when I come inside you." He was so focused on his prey that he didn't notice 4 other wolves approaching quietly from the forest. When he finally raised his eyes from Opal's, he found himself frozen in place. These 4 wolves were now viciously beating up his minions. The largest wolf leaped towards him, then suddenly changed into a tall, muscular silver werewolf. And this one Kaiden recognized easily. "We meet again, Mahi." Gah! The Gamma of Silvercrest could have fought the asshole easily, but his priority was his little sister. Myrene, Raquel, and Alexia, even if they could defend themselves very well and were capable fighters, were not warriors, so he couldn't risk any of them. For now, the mission was to rescue Diwa, and that's it. Maharan had hit him only once, but he hit him so hard that Kaiden flew in the air and fell on his back, colliding with some nearby boulders. The Gamma then took his unconscious sister in his arms, who had now shifted to human form, then leaped and ran to escape with his fellow pack members. Cai Tuanbai. Seal was still trying to call Maharan's number as she paced V's living room. She had asked it from him before they separated ways upon reaching their apartment floor. He finally entered the front door, looking completely worn out. "V, is she here?" "What did her parents say?" she inquired a little too loudly. "She hasn't arrived yet." "I just made it sound like I made a mistake and that she's still with Aaron," replied Vince as he removed his coat. "And where the hell is Aaron?" "I dumped him on his bed and left. Whatever it is he drank, it has knocked him out cold, and I don't think we can talk to him until he sobers up." "Oh, I don't plan to just talk to him, V. I have all night to tell him what's on my mind since my kids are not around." Seal raged as she stomped towards the front door. "Elena, calm down, shh," the alpha drawled soothingly, as he grabbed his furious mate and embraced her. "Look, don't waste your time. We can talk to him tomorrow. Meanwhile, I suggest you call Alexia. Don't you have her number since she's your personal counselor at the office?" The 4 werewolves and the 1 human they carried finally arrived at one of the safe houses the pack had for emergencies. It was Maharan's new headquarters. due to a suspension. Now, it was also a place of sanctuary for his sister, who was cleaned and dressed up by Alexia and Raquel, then put to bed. How is she, wife? She's physically unharmed, but I'm not sure about her mind. I can only tell when she finally wakes up and talks to us. All right. So, we wait then, Maheran decided, taking his phone out of his pocket and started texting. Gamma, my wifey and I will have to leave now, stated Myron. We'll keep following them now that they've finally shown themselves. It's best to track them now while the trail is still hot. Yes, you can go. Thank you both. See you soon, Mr. M, Mrs. Alex. Raquel chirped as she followed her boyishly handsome husband out the door. Yes, later girl, Alex answered, as her husband nodded a silent goodbye. As the door closed, the Gamma glanced worriedly at his sleeping sister, bundled up in bed in one of the safe house's rooms. He was not happy with how things have progressed so far, and he didn't bother to hide it. This was unexpected and uncalled for. I trusted him to keep her safe, Alex, he growled, low and deep. It's good that this contact of yours alerted us, Alex said, walking to her mate and hugging him, trying to sate his annoyance. Yes, this time was too close. And where the hell was that damned beta all this time? That's his mate, and he just let her go home alone. Unbelievable. Even if he knows nothing about Diwa's past, he should have been there, like he promised her. Seems to me they had a fight, and the cause of it might be that very secret that you haven't told him. Sorry to say, my love. I know, beloved. This is what I meant when I told him that it had to be more than just the bond that keeps them together, and he still doesn't understand. Does he actually want me to spoon feed him? And why should I do that when he's the damn beta? Fuck it, damned if I do, damned if I don't, exclaimed Maheran in frustration as he punched one of the inner walls of the safe house, cracking the plaster. Alexia hid her smile as she watched her typically stiff and impassive husband yell and fume. She could easily say that he was only like this with just her, but it wasn't always been like this. Just barely 2 years before, he could hardly say a word to her. But of course, she now knew why. At least, we got to her on time. And as you said, all we can do now is wait. Just then, as if on cue, Alexia's phone rang. Maheran's eyebrows furrowed as his wife showed him her mobile screen. Should I answer her call, husband? Seal was on the verge of losing her mind. Her very frayed and overworked nerves didn't help, along with that intense feeling of dread even before they left the Silver Floor Club. They should have been dancing, she, D.I., and their mates. But oh no, Aaron had to be an idiot and drank himself to sleep while wallowing in a pool of self-pity. Yes, Seal was pissed, more so since nobody was picking up her calls. Who the fuck said no news is good news? She mumbled as she paced the living room floor, calling Diwa's phone, next Maheran's, and then Alex's on repeat. Maheran's phone was totally unreachable though, but she still kept dialing anyway, wanting to be sure. Meanwhile, at the safe house, Maheran let out a sigh as another call went through to his wife's mobile. Well, it's the Luna, after all. And she has been Dee's friend for a number of years already. I don't think she'll stop calling until one of us answers. But make her promise not to tell Aaron. All right, husband, Alex replied, giving him a quick kiss and answering the call on speaker. Hello, Alexia. Oh, my dear God, thanks for answering. I don't mean to alarm you, but I'm a little worried about Dayak. Yes, Seal. I can hear that you are more than a little worried. I know the reason as well. Oh, so Diwa is with you, Seal said with relief. Yes. The Alpha's mate suddenly felt a disturbance in the force because of Alexia's tone. Alexia. So something did happen to her. I knew it, damn it. What happened? Where is she? Can I talk to her, please? Please. Calm down, Luna. She's okay, but for now, she's unconscious. I can't tell you the full story, because it's not my story to tell. But she had an encounter with someone from her past. What? Please. Don't tell me it was the maniac. Please, no! Oh. I see she has told you about him. You must be very close friends since she hasn't even told her mate, Alexia said, looking at her husband's surprised face. I'm sorry to say, but yes, it was him. But he didn't do anything to her. Alexia, please. I need to see her. Please, tell me where she is. Her brother is taking care of her now. And it's his call whether we can tell you where she is. It's important that we keep her location a secret, until we find a way to deal with her obsessed attacker. Okay then, please ask Maheran if you can tell me where she is so we can visit. I'll wait for your answer, Seal replied in a downhearted tone. All right, Luna, but for now, please don't worry too much. Besides, it would be of no use for you to come and see her. since, as I told you, she's still unconscious. I understand. Still, she's more than a friend to me, Alexia. I wish to be there for her. I know, Seal. We'll let you know M's answer soon. The Gamma female ended the call. Meanwhile, the Alpha's mate stared blankly at her phone. Alex took one look at her husband and embraced him tightly. He responded with a deep kiss. Seal took one look at V, and he hugged her tenderly. She responded with a hungry kiss. Both couples were now worried about one woman that meant a lot to them, and she was unaware of the care and concern coming from them. What she was aware of is that her mate had left her alone, like he did many years ago. Diwa gasped in terror. She knew that voice. The frightened woman forced herself awake, just so she could get her bearings. She looked around and found herself all alone in the worst possible place she could be. This is where it happened. And what is going on? She could almost feel the eerie wind that blew that evening. It wasn't really late, but there weren't many people around. Come on, Diwa. I just want to show you something. The southern part of the property, right before the forest, was where the workshops were. The smaller handmade decorative knickknacks that the pack provided both for the pack house and the different businesses of the companies were put together in this large, barn-like building. Bookbinding, pottery, woodworks, and a few other creative works were taught and made here. The many tables, raw materials, tools, and equipment were scattered within. And right now, there was no one there to use them. And now Di found herself back there. Again, walking towards it with a friend of hers, who had asked her for help on a project he said he was working on. He's quite handsome, and many she-wolves were after him. Especially because, due to his training as one of the pack warriors, his physique was impressive for a 17-year-old. He was also tall, and very charismatic. There was something in him that made people just want to follow him. So, what are you going to show me? She heard herself say. Oh, it's just a new project I've been working on. I know you'll love it, Di. When I finish it, I will ask you to marry me after I give it to you. You've been talking about us marrying for a few years now, Kai, but I know you have a mate already. I just don't understand why her family left the house. Oh, that was a misunderstanding, Dee. She wasn't my real mate, you are. Well, she heard herself say while laughing, thinking that he was only joking. I think it's too early for us to know if you're really my mate. You will have to wait. I don't think I want to wait, Dee, she heard the teen said, while they were almost at the door of the woodworking workshop. She turned to see his eyes become suddenly reddish. Wait, his wolf is awakening. This is when I must run. Escape from him. Why can't I move? No, please. This isn't happening. This can't be happening. Kaiden then took one step towards her. Di looked up from her 5'4" height to his 6'4", feeling her body growing colder as her mind continually commanded her to run, but her body could no longer respond. He took another step closer, seemingly taking her freezing as acceptance. She realized later that it was how his twisted mind worked, and she was now terrified at the lustful look in his eyes. W mean, Kai? You don't want to wait for what? Well, my dear Dee, I've been thinking. Another step forward. That may be another step. You would like one step more, and he was right in front of her. He bent down, looked her right in the eyes, then got closer, whispering into her ear. For me to take you. Right here, right now. No. All the red alerts exploded in her head. Her body finally unfroze, but it was too late. The strong young man grabbed her torso and pulled her up to his chest, slamming her into one of the workshop's huge doors. Her feet were no longer touching the ground as he carried her up like she weighed nothing. No. 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 One of his hands managed to slip under her top and was now grabbing one of her full breasts. Her screams were muffled by a fierce forced kiss. Mine, he growled in a deeper voice that she knew was not his. She screamed even more into his mouth. It was with rising terror that she realized Kaiden's wolf was now merging with him. So both of them could share the fun of claiming her, since they absolutely believed she was their mate. Suddenly, Diwa felt herself being carried inside the spacious, high-ceiling building. She felt her breath get drawn out of her as she was slammed on the first vacant working table. Kaiden, what the fuck are you doing? Let me go, she screamed as she fought the guy who still continued to touch her all over, with that wide, lecherous grin on his face. Aaron, Maharon, Vince. Please, I know you're all busy with your new positions, but please, I need help. I need it badly. Please, but more than the others. Her mind was now screaming Aaron's name. The younger of the three guys, Aaron, left a few days before to complete a special training required to assume the beta position. She was not only missing him so much, but now that she desperately needed help, her mind kept going back to him. Aaron, why did you have to go? Please, come back to me. Help me. Why are you playing hard to get, my delicious mate? I know you want it too. No, I don't. Let me go. Why are you doing this to me? We're friends, Kai. Please stop. We're friends. But not only that, my love. You just don't know it yet. I'm doing this so that you wake up and understand that you're my mate, Diwa. After this, we'll be happy together for the rest of our lives. Re-ape! Re-ape! E-ape! The loud sound of her clothes being torn off her echoed in her mind as she screamed in desperation and fear. She felt the cold air on her skin, causing her to tremble even more. Kaiden, I can't be your mate if you already have a mate. I told you. That was a mistake. How can the moon goddess make a mistake? Kai, I don't know, but she did. And if you don't want to make love with me, I will have to force myself on you, so you understand. No. This isn't real. This isn't happening. Diwa, I'm telling you, stop. Zazarsh, Zerich, Zerich. The noise deafened her, and she paused just to see what her abuser had in his hand. She stared in disbelief. Yes, love. If you don't stop fighting me, and let me make love to you, I'll have to drill a few holes into your perfect body. Please don't force me to harm you. Her stomach churned in fear as she saw his face. Now twisted and dark, no longer resembling the attractive youth, she considered her childhood friend. Diwa knew then that he was very capable of doing what he said. Against her will, she tried covering her naked body with arms and firmly pressed her lips together, her tears now flowing from her eyes. He smiled down at her as he licked his lips. You see, precious, you do want me. Brother Maharan, where are you? Help me, please. Dai saw Kaiden taking off his shirt, then started touching her in all the places she didn't want to be touched by him. His lips soon followed his hands, sucking, biting, licking, kissing, every inch of her holes being probed, explored, lustfully, ruthlessly, mercilessly. The Gamma's sister closed her eyes as she whimpered and moaned in pain. Meanwhile, her molester mistakenly took this as an affirmation of what he's doing, so he intensified his unwanted attentions on her. This can't be happening. Please, somebody help me. See, love. I told you that you would like it. I knew you would enjoy it, he said as he played again with her breasts, while slowly tracing a downward trail with his tongue towards her more fragile parts, now bloody from too much probing. Then, D.I. heard a frightening sound. It was the metallic clinking of a belt buckle. Please, no, she whispered at first, out of breath, will, and energy. Kaiden was too much in lust to pay any attention to anything anymore. Not even the woman he claimed is his mate. No, she said a little louder, as he still fought with his belt, not willing to use both hands to take it off. Maharan, help me, she screamed, finally collecting enough strength to yell at the top of her lungs. After that, it was all a blur. She saw her brother kicking down the door. She saw the horror in his face at the sight of her bloody and naked, with that bastard kneeling in front of her open legs. M immediately merged with Lion, his wolf, and out came his huge silver werewolf, while letting out a loud blood-curdling roar. She saw Kaiden looking behind him in shock. Then he stood up, shirtless, and with blood still coating the corners of his mouth. He was unable to continue, because Lion was already in front of him, swiping his chest with his long sharp claws so deeply that the slices spurted out blood. The ruby-red liquid squirted out so strongly. Even Maharan's werewolf form was drenched with it. D.I. soon felt a blanket covering her, and their new alpha was now asking her if she was okay or if she was hurt. She couldn't answer him, and just shook inside her thick covers, silently weeping. Take him out, warriors, she then heard V order aloud. Maharan, your sister needs you. Bro, take her to the hospital. We'll take care of Kaiden. And then, everything went black. Sai twine. No. Diwa sat up on the bed, screaming, covered in sweat. I have to see all of that once again. I hate it. It's been years since my last nightmare. And now it's back. Damn you, Kaiden. Damn you. Tears ran down her face as her big brother sat on the bed beside her. They looked at each other the same way they did when he brought her to the hospital wrapped in that blanket, and she threw her arms around him. Maharan hugged her back, holding her tight as she cried her heart out. So did her brother, his soundless tears just flowing down his eyes. How much I hate this feeling. The inability to do anything for her, and I have almost been too late. Twice. Alexia, who was at the door, turned to look away. They will need some time to deal with the trauma for her and the guilt for him. No. Oh. Aaron woke up screaming, panting, furious, and with a deep pain in his chest. Goddess, please. That can't be real, he begged in a whisper as tears flooded his eyes. But it had to be. It was the only explanation why Di left the pack, why Kaiden had escaped so many years before, and why the Marharan he left when he went to his training wasn't the same one he returned to when he arrived back home. All this hit him like a ton of bricks, and he felt his heart breaking. That's why Didi didn't want to come and live here. That's what she tried to tell me. Damn it. And I didn't let her. No real damage done, thank the goddess. But how are you feeling, girl? Alexia asked after completing her checkup of Diwa. Unprotected, unsafe, and so stupid. Of course that shitface would still be alive, just waiting for me to come back here. Whined Di as she sat up in bed, her blanket still covering her up to her waist. At least you're safe for now, sister, Maharan reassured her. Damn it. I didn't want to return to the pack house because of this, because of him, and here I was thinking I just need to get over my memories. But the bastard is still around. I'm such an idiot, choosing to walk back to the pack house from the club, completely forgetting about him. It's not your fault, Dee, Alexia said, reassuringly. No, it's the fault of that asshole, useless mate of yours, snapped the man who was still sitting his sister's bed. Alexia looked at her husband with a killer stare. Of course, Dee didn't see that because she was still feeling down and sorry for herself. Not now, brother, please. Yes, sorry, I didn't mean to. Wait. Has he called you? Has he looked for me? I lost my phone somewhere on the run. The couple in front of her remained silent for a moment before they both shook their heads slowly. Maharan explained that his number is new, so he couldn't possibly be reached. However, he has my wife's number and has not bothered to call her. I see, whispered Dee, her morale now down to the negative levels. As things are, I really don't want to go anywhere right now. If you don't mind, I'd like to stay here with you both. Of course, sister, you don't even have to ask. The one who has been looking for you incessantly is your friend Seal, Alexia said. She begged me to tell her where you were. Your brother decided that we wait for you to wake up so we can get your opinion on the matter. Thank you, Alexia. I'd also like to see my friend. But just make her swear not to tell Aaron. We're not in very good terms right now. Please promise you won't tell my mate. Both of you. We promise, both answered in unison. Thank you. Why don't you rest a little more, sister? This took a lot of your energy, and you need to recuperate. Yeah, I think I will. After a quick tour of his apartment and not finding her there, he decided that she must be with her parents or with Seal. But he needed to be sure where she was first before he visited the said people. The nightmare was still fresh in his mind when Aaron finally started calling his mate. With a trembling hand, he dialed her number, desperate to find her. 15 minutes later, and several calls later, he still hadn't reached her. Why are you not answering? Di, are you that upset with me? Please, let me make it up to you, Diwa. He continued to murmur as he kept calling, despite the very late hour. After about 30 attempts, he stopped calling Diwa and called Seal. He breathed a sigh of relief when the Alpha's mate picked up. Seal, please tell me you have talked with Di. She's not answering her phone. And I'm going crazy here. The beta blurted out pleadingly. Glad to finally hear from you, Aaron. It seems that she lost her phone, though. I honestly have no idea where she is. But I talked to Alexia. Di is with them, and Alex says Di is okay. Oh, goddess. Thank you. That's great news, Seal. I'll try to talk to them and see if I can go see her. Sorry to bother you at this hour. I hope I didn't wake you up. Oh no, you didn't. It's okay now. Go and find your mate, and never let her go back home alone ever again. Or you'll answer to me. Is that clear, Aaron? Yes, Luna, replied the beta naturally, reacting automatically to the firm, authoritative tone of the Alpha's mate. It was after the end of the call that I suddenly realized how he reacted to Seal. It would be hours later when the implication of what had just happened would finally sink into his mind. But for now, his focus was still on how he could have possibly let Diwa go. And finding her as soon as possible. As soon as the older couple left her and closed the door, Diwa snuggled into bed and closed her eyes. She tried so hard to sleep, but found herself still wide awake after an hour. Opal, I'm sorry for what happened. If I didn't panic, we could have merged and escaped. I'm sorry that asshole touched you, and You have nothing to apologize for. Okay, I'm fine. Just glad we got out of it. And about our mate, it's not his fault. Don't be so mad at him. He has no idea of what happened to us. Diwa. Opal, he doesn't know because he didn't look for me. He promised me he wouldn't leave me. Not anymore. And I believed him. He gave us space. DI. If he followed us, then nothing would have happened and we would be pissed because he would be forcing a decision from us. It's a very difficult position for him for sure. I know. I don't want to think about it. Okay, I'm glad that you're fine, Opal. I think I'll try to rest, for now. Yes. Rest. Aaron spent the next half hour dialing Maharan's phone first, despite being informed that it's not available. The next half hour he continually contacted Alexia, but she wasn't picking up. It might be the hour since it's already early morning. After bringing DI to their place, they probably got so mad at me they just went to sleep and are ignoring my calls. Maharan probably got so pissed with me. He probably blocked me too. Well, I deserve that. The tall, handsome beta got out of his messed up clothes and went into his shower. His perfectly fit physique was still scarred by the last encounter with his bro. And the memory of everything he said was scarring him more. But they weren't marks that he could see. Yes. But that's just part of the evidence against you. The bigger case is if you will be a good mate to her. Damn it. Are you right about me being? That's the only reason you want her then. The ultimate intercourse partner. Is that all she is to you? The cold water fell over him, running from his head down to his wide shoulders and strong back. He bent forward, letting his forehead rest on the shower's tiled wall. Diwa. Shh, it's okay. I'm here. I won't leave you alone. Don't worry. I swear it. And if I forget this oath, feel free to punish me for it. So many years without a mate. I thought I would never have one, and I didn't care to find her then. And now that I have her. Yeah, you're right. I don't deserve her, he murmured, his eyes closing as he feels himself drowning in his pain, his emotions. His hands touched the wall as the images of his mate leaving, of the fight with Maharan, of the dream, started attacking him. Something happened around the time when you left for training. So many years ago, why didn't I follow through? Why didn't I try to find her? Why did I leave her on her own for so many years? Why the fuck did I have to be so fucking selfish? Damn it. His hand clenched into a fist as he cried out in anger. He then let loose. The emotionally overcome beta punched the wall with all his strength, all his pain, and all his frustration. His hand passed through the wall as cement, broken tiles buried into his fist, which immediately started bleeding. He was soon in a haze, continually punching new holes in his bathroom wall. And yet, the hurt in his heart was still stronger. As soon as the beta's call ended, the gamma female called the alpha's mate. Hello, Seal. It's Alex. Oh, hi. Thank you for calling. I thought you might be waiting for me to call back. Hope I didn't wake up the twins. No, it's okay. They're with Lena right now, please. Is Dee awake now? Yes. She and Em agreed on you visiting her, but, as I told you before, you can't tell Aaron where we are. Of course. I won't. Just tell me where. I'll go wherever you guys may be, and I've told V about what happened to DI, so can he come along? Silence from the other line. Alex, you only made me promise not to tell Aaron. You didn't tell me not to tell your alpha, right? Seal hears a defeated sigh from the other end of the line. Cai Tuan. V was standing right outside of Aaron's apartment's door when he heard several loud sounds coming from within, along with yelling. He used the key he had with him and rushed inside, finding his younger friend naked and screaming while under the shower, but with debris at his feet instead of just water. Hey bro, what the hell are you doing? V exclaimed, grabbing Aaron from behind to pull him out of his bathroom. He then immobilized his beta with a simple but strong judo hold, hoping it would calm his bro down. It took a minute for Aaron to come back to his senses enough to decently speak to V, despite his less than decent state. Hey bro, what are you doing here? How did you get in? I accidentally kept your key when I dropped you in here a few hours ago. The alpha replied while letting it go. I was actually going to check in on you and return the key when I heard the racket. Oh that. Don't mind it. It's just me punishing myself for being such a damned failure of a mate. Bro, what kind of fucking punishment were you doing that it can be heard all the way through your apartment's soundproofed walls? Aaron raised his hands for his alpha to view, while he motioned with his head towards his shower's wall. Hey, what the hell brought this about? There's something that I saw in a dream, Thuff, that explained everything, every single thing that happened from the moment I came back from training, bro. I know it's not usual to share dreams with your mate, but I think that's what just happened, and you were there. So can I just ask you to confirm what I saw? Bro, I told you I can't tell you. A simple yes or no. That's all I want to hear. V, please, I need to know. Aaron begged as he dressed himself up in a short silken black robe that he had hanging from a bathroom door's inner pegs. Besides, if I already know, you won't be blamed for me finding out on my own. So, V listened to everything his beta said about his dream. Eventually, when he had to confirm what Aaron saw, he could only partially affirm the parts where he was present, along with the parts that the dream did not show. Maharan was in a meeting with V at the Packhouse's private office when he started feeling a knot in his stomach. His wolf lion was uneasy as well. The name of her little sister kept playing on repeat in both their minds. Hey bro, everything okay? I don't think you're listening to me. Yeah. I apologize, V. I can't focus. I feel that I need to check on my sister. Immediately. Excuse me for a moment. Bro, you think something's wrong. Tell me I can help. I'm not sure. I need to go find her just to make sure. Then, I'm going with you. Thanks, bro. And then the scene that welcomed the two friends inside that workshop. The same thing Aaron saw in his dream that sent Em and Lion on berserker mode. You fucking bastard. You don't even deserve to be dead. Em kept yelling at the man he was now beating up in human form just so he could speak his rage aloud. Finally, the warriors that V mind-linked showed up and took the swollen, wounded, and unconscious human from Maharan. He was now mindlessly hitting Kaiden, despite his target being half dead by then. Maharan, your sister needs you, bro. Take her to the hospital, the Alpha ordered Em, allowing one of the warriors to place another blanket taken from the workshop supplies around his shoulders. The Gamma turned towards his sister, his face completely emotionless, but his eyes red and watery. He didn't say a word to her. He just looked into her pale face, took her into his arms, and walked towards the chipped doors of the barn, like building, so he can bring her to the pack hospital. Don't do anything to him until I'm back. Maharan grimly told V as he paused at the doorway. You have my word, bro. Unfortunately, Kaiden was able to escape even after he was already locked up. Espionage was his expertise after all. Maharan had taken over the case since then, requesting that no more should be done to put his sister in danger. So, it's all been classified, keeping his family safe and Diwa's location under wraps. Aaron listened silently to V while looking at his fists as it was healing. He knew that in less than an hour, his knuckles would be clear of wounds. If only he could do the same to his heart. Anyways, he has a theory that Kaiden will just be waiting for his prey to return and won't waste time searching for her. And now she's back. Then M got suspended. If only I could do the same to my mate. Or turn back time. I should leave, bro. I mean, leave for good so I can find her, and we can live together far from the pack house. Aaron slowly said, still standing near his wrecked bathroom, so I can keep her safe and— What? You can't be serious, V snapped. Of course I am. I left her alone when I went to my training, and for so many years I didn't even try to find her. I mean, sure, I didn't know, but if I truly cared about her, I should have tried to find out the truth, right? But no, I was an idiot, even when I already knew that she's my mate. Well, I aim to do what's right this time. Aaron, you're the beta of the pack. How can you be seriously thinking about quitting? Are you out of your mind, bro? You seriously need to stop acting on your feelings on this. That's why she got attacked last night. The beta froze a moment. What? What do you mean attacked? Exactly that. The bastard was spying on her, or something. When she had the fight with you, you let her go alone. Then she chose to walk home. That's when he caught her. Good thing M was there to save her, and— What the fuck? Roared A. And you tell me just now. That's it, I need to go to her. I gotta go to my mate fucking now so we can leave this place, and I can keep her safe. Both of the tall, handsome, strong, and very upset men were yelling at each other. At this point, you see what I mean? You're not even thinking. Do you have any idea where the fuck she is? Or just plan to roam around the fucking forest until you find her? Whatever it fucking takes. Massachusetts N, she's my fucking mate. Don't you understand? Or is it that you don't feel the damn bond because your mate is human? What the hell is that supposed to mean, Aaron? Don't you dare bring Elena into this? Well, your bond with her is not like us normal wolves because— Vince didn't even want to hear the end of what Aaron was saying. His fist flew, hitting his beta in the mouth, causing it to step back. The younger man wiped his lips and saw blood on his hand. What the fuck, V? Aaron angrily yelled as he swiftly launched himself towards his alpha. Now the fight between the two of the strongest werewolves in the Silvercrest pack began. Good thing, though, that they choose to stay in their human forms. Aaron connected with a couple of punches to V's hard abs. In retaliation, V aimed a roundhouse kick that threw Aaron onto his wooden coffee table, breaking it into pieces. Vince then dived towards A to continue hitting him when both of them heard a noise behind him. Vincent Regal, what the fuck is going on here? A second dream, and it's damn weirder than the first one. But they seem so real. What if they were real, or will be real very soon? He immediately got to his feet and started packing. What are you doing, Aaron? What I should have done when she left the club. I'm going after her. What about your responsibilities? You too, Onyx. We're talking about our mate. I don't care any longer what I have to sacrifice to get her back. She had to go through all of this on her own for so many years. I'm not letting that happen again. But I agree with the alpha. Aaron, there are other ways. I'm not losing her again. I refuse to let that happen, okay? Aaron packed a few of his belongings, mainly clothes. Wrote a rushed letter to V, then left it on his private office's executive desk. Dressed in a thick fur-lined jacket, hiking boots, shirt, and jeans. He finally rushed out of the pack house, still in the middle of an intense conversation with his wolf. Be reasonable. Aaron, can't you at least call your alpha? No, Onyx. I love her. I can't give anyone the chance to change my mind. I don't care about the consequences anymore. I only care about her and having her with me for keeps. On top of his bed, he left his phone. And in the parking area of the house, he left his once beloved Porsche. Nothing else mattered anymore. He didn't want to be found. This time, what mattered the most was what he was aiming to find. Wait for me, Diwa. I'll find you, and I'll never leave you alone ever again. Cai Bai Tuan. Meanwhile, the Alpha and Gamma have settled in one of the rooms upstairs. It was actually a small library, and Maharan had used it occasionally when he needed to figure out a way to deal with difficult cases. It was quite apt for their meeting now. So, I did try to find Kaiden over the years, but during all those times he had always managed to escape me. He used his espionage skills to the max and, with the help of various rogue followers, has made it even harder to be killed in a full-out battle. But why all these dramatics, Maharan? We could just easily fight them when they tried to take your sister. If and when they do, that is the problem. Kaiden makes sure that he only goes after her if she's alone, like what happened after you guys went clubbing. Besides, the safety of my family will constantly be in danger, and the suspense of not knowing when he will attack. M paused to drink straight from the bottle of wolf wine, his favorite vintage and year, which he kept in this particular safe house. Drinking happened to be one of his favorite stress reliever, second only to feeding his wife. My parents are already old V, while my sister is too traumatized to go through any more of this. So, I'm finding ways for him to expose himself. And that has happened now because of her arrival at the pack house and my suspension, he stated grimly, as he sat on the library's massive mahogany desk. So, you let her get attacked yesterday, but only managed to rescue her. What kind of plan was that? Asked V as he chose to use a wine glass and filled it with wine from another bottle on the minibar. Aaron was supposed to be with her. If he was, he could easily mind-link the warriors to fight Kaiden, which I can't do because I'm suspended. When the warriors arrive, that's when I'm supposed to show up, so we can finally catch the bastard. But no. The beta decided to be a selfish emotional dick and drown himself in alcohol, while we had to risk our hides to do the very thing he's supposed to do. Dude, ease up on your bro. Having a true steady relationship is new to him, but he is clearly making an effort. Vince advised as he sat on the nearest leather lazy boys. Clearly not enough, Alpha. I'm sorry he needs to see beyond the thrill of making love to his mate, or he will lose my sister, if not to Kaiden then her possibly rejecting him as a mate. And I don't want that to happen. V almost spat out his drink with what he heard. Wait, so you do want them to end up together? I was already convinced that they truly are mates when Dai attacked me at our exclusive club back at the city just to save Aaron from my fury. I only doubt his capacity to be a good mate. V. It ends there. I feel a butt coming up, the Alpha said while raising an eyebrow. Maharan also raised an eyebrow before continuing. But I also saw the possibility of ending Kaiden's crimes against my sister, present and possibly future, by letting Aaron bring her to the pack house. She wouldn't have done so otherwise. I just needed the drama so you can kick me out temporarily. From there, I told my insider about everything. And the plan flowed like water until he decided to let my little sister walk away all alone. So, Your plan failed. What now? Well, I have found out that Kaiden has decided to shift his focus on someone else before he goes after Diwa. It's now his primary plan, and it can buy me some time to think of a better option. Really? That's surprising. Considering he's so obsessed with your sister for the longest time. So, who's the unlucky woman? Not another woman. A man. He's planning to kill Aaron. What? Kill Aaron? Both men were startled at the panicked female voice that interrupted their talk. Both of them shifted their gaze towards the library door, which was already open. There stood Diwa, with Seal and Alexia right behind her. I need to go back to the pack house, brother. I need to talk to my mate. And not even you can stop me. V sighed, and looked at a surprised M with amusement. Looks like I have to end your suspension today, Gamma. Welcome back to the pack. Aaron was trudging up the mountain, without any clear idea where he was going. But that was fine with him. For now, his priority was to put as much distance between him and the pack house, knowing that V would probably start a search for him when he comes back with the Luna. If he wanted to find his mate, he would need to make himself scarce. So he's choosing to go to places where he or D would not usually frequent, if not for my need to keep my backpack and clothes. Onyx can get us out of there a lot faster, but knowing him, he'll probably run back to the pack house so he can tell the Alpha about my plans. Yes, I would, Aaron. You are being stupid. Please go back to the pack. No, Onyx. I need to protect my mate, and if this is the best way for me to do it, then I won't back down, even if it means going against you. Aaron Keyser, fake beta of Silvercrest, and fake mate of Diwa Dinar. Welcome. Why the fuck are you calling me a fake mate? Sure, fake beta now that I've left the pack, but fake mate? Really, Onyx? That wasn't me. Aaron, what? So, who? Fake mate? I'm talking to you. Aaron whirled around so he could finally face the monster, who violently attacked and molested his beloved Diwa. Twice. You! Growled both Aaron and Onyx at the same time, their voices mixing, echoing. The beta had automatically posed for battle, furious eyes looking like yellow flames. But still, he kept his human form so that he can still speak with his enemy. And knowing Kaiden, his challenger from childhood past, he loved to gloat. It still seemed to be the case. You look so proud of yourself. Aaron, walking out into my territory. Are you aiming to challenge me? Since when did you have a territory, you bastard? You would be surprised at what I actually have, you phony. Aaron, behind you. Two sharp sets of claws swiftly descended on the beta's back. A was able to expertly roll away and was back on his feet within seconds, thanks to Onyx's quick warning. However, his backpack was now in pieces, his belongings scattered and shredded. He quickly scanned his surroundings, identifying as many of his opponents as he can, sure that he will be attacked again. He counted 5 werewolves, and all of them instantly bounded towards him. He then merged with Onyx, and the unfair fight ensued. What he didn't know was that behind his first set of attackers, 10 were already waiting, and after them, there were 20 more. Aaron, where are you? Love, I'm back. W, where are you? Diwa had run ahead of the others, entering his apartment, which was oddly unlocked, but D reasoned that he may have left it open for her to be able to enter on her own. She was shocked at the mess that greeted her, and was instantly worried upon spotting bloody marks on the broken coffee table. Then, the bathroom wall. Also, there was no sign of her mate anywhere. With her heightened sense of sight, she quickly scanned the apartment. She felt fear and worry as she saw his walk-in closet all in disarray. Then there was a note on his office table. The troubled she-wolf sprinted towards the desk, already reading the words on it. But it was too unbelievable for her that she had to read it up close. Aaron? No, you shouldn't have done this. We need to get to him, Opal. Would you like to try to mind-link him? Dai. So far, he had gone through round 2, successfully. 15 werewolf bodies now littered the ground around him, but as 20 more werewolf rogues surrounded him, he knew he was in trouble. Especially, since he was already panting hard and weakening, he realized how exhausted he was. Since he had little sleep and even had a short fight with his alpha. However, he's not about to just give up. He still has his second wind, thinking of Diwa and focusing on her image in his head. Battle cries resounded as the 20 rogues now tried to bring him down. He roared his own battle cry, which ended up louder than all his enemies combined. He was able to take down 2 within the next few seconds. My mate needs me. I can't let them win. Beta. Call your pack warriors. Use your mind link. No, Onyx. I already left the pack. If I call them, the Alpha will know where I am. Aaron, where are you? Come back, love. Why did you leave? Onyx. Bro. That's not me, either. I know. It's Diwa. I wanted to ask if you heard her too, or is this just my imagination? I heard her too. Dude, let's go back. Then, an intense pain grates through his back. Triple A. Ha! He turned around, sending more painful spikes through his torso. But it was just in time, as a slightly shorter, dirty gray werewolf with longer fangs and claws aimed a huge bite at his shoulder. But hit empty air instead. Aaron slashed upward, hoping to hit Kaiden's abdomen. But again, he felt a new batch of painful gashes to his side. He bellowed as he felt blood now flowing down his leg, moistening his fur in the ground. His enemy was making sure that he was being attacked from all sides, while he was having a hard time focusing. Then he hears a feminine voice in his head, echoing his cries of pain. Diwa, stop using our link. Disconnect. Love. What's happening to you? There's so much pain. Sugarplum. I'm closing the mind link. Don't try and find me. You'll only get hurt. Aaron knew. Don't shut me out. Show me where you are. Then, silence. And just in time, too. Taking advantage of the beta's split-second distraction, Kaiden finally managed to bite a chunk out of his shoulder. The villain then roared joyously as the taste of his most hated rival's flesh and blood engulfed his mouth, his tongue, his throat. Aaron Annex howled in agony once again. Triple Ash! Screamed Diwa in pain, falling to the floor. At first, all that registered in her mind was the intense hurt on her shoulder. But then, a few seconds later, realization flooded her thoughts. I can still feel him. Even if he closed the link. Diwa, what happened? Why did you scream? Meharon cried out as he rushed into the beta's apartment and found Diwa clambering up to a kneeling position on the floor. Brother Aaron left. Here's the note that he left for V. But I can still feel him even without the mind link. She blurted out while M hugged her, then helped her up, and he's being attacked somewhere up in the mountains. Did you see where? Just a little bit, but I think I can find him. I can feel him M and I, Diwa. The Gamma immediately held her as she shook in his arms. If he is trying to connect with you again while he's fighting, I'll kill him myself. I told you, he cut me off. She gasped, but I can still feel him. What's going on, Diwa? What's wrong? Asked the Luna as she entered the apartment with V and Alexia right behind her. M was quick to respond. Alexia, please check the apartment for anything we can use to find him. V, here's a note from the beta. And Seal, please bring my sister to the hospital and have her checked. I think she needs medical treatment. Meharon, are you even paying attention to what I'm saying? I can help you find him. No, the Alpha and I can put together a search team. You don't need to go out there, Di. He can take care of himself. Now go on, you need to be checked up. Brother, damn it. Will you stop overprotecting me? I can take care of myself. You can't even fight Kaiden without freezing. No, Diwa, I'm not risking you. Come on, girl. Let's just go to the hospital, coaxed Seal. Di turned around when they reached the front door. Just promise me you'll find him, Meharon. Alive. We will. Now go, Seal, please. Of course, come on, Di. As soon as the door closed behind them, Seal suddenly brisked, walked Di towards the elevator and pushed the button for the ground floor. Diwa did a double take at what her friend just did. Seal, the hospital is just a floor below us. Why the ground floor? So, you can go after him, Di. Di looked at her best friend's smirking face and realized what Seal intended to do. She squealed in pleasure, then hugged her, sis tight. Thank you, Seal. You're welcome. So go get him back, Diwa. The lift's sliding doors opened, and soon a light brown wolf emerged from within, sprinting swiftly towards the open double doors of the pack house and out into the sunshine. Wait for me, my mate. Hold on. Gamma! Kaiden's rogues found Aaron, and they're attacking him. Myron? Tell me where you are. I need details of the place so we can find you. We're at the clearing on top of the mountain, right after the southern border. How many rogues do you see? Myron. Silence. Myron, along with his wife Raquel, tried to help the beta by taking down a few rogues before he contacted the Gamma. However, in the middle of their mind link, Myron was hit from behind and was knocked out cold. Raquel, who was making sure her hubby was safe while he linked their superiors, had already been rendered unconscious by one of the rogues only a few seconds earlier. Their attacker then pulled their unconscious forms under piles of leaves, hidden from many of the other rogues, who were now enjoying the ongoing fight of their leader, with the one he called the fake mate. Aaron was still up and fighting, but he was now suffering from severe fatigue, several gaping wounds, and loss of blood. True, he was splattered all over from the 30-plus werewolves that he had made quick work of, but his own blood now gushed out from him while an overconfident Kai continued to relentlessly attack him. And the 10 more rogue warriors Kaiden joining in the fun. Didn't make it a very fair fight. Exciting, for sure, judging from the cheering of the audience. But not at all fair. Damn it! How can I be a good mate to her if I can't even take this bastard down? It's not that you can't. It's that he didn't attack you alone. I told you to link the warriors. If we die, we won't even keep this maniac from our mate. You idiot. Shut up a moment. Onyx, I'm trying to fight here. Trying. Being the operative word, eventually Onyx had no choice but to shut up. A few more minutes into the fight, Aaron could no longer hold the merge with his wolf, and he quickly reverted back to his human form, panting heavily, bleeding from several gashes, yet holding his body as straight as the pain allowed him. The beta was still posed for combat. He was obviously very determined to keep fighting to the last breath. Tired so soon, chuckled Kaiden, shifting to his human form as well too, just so he can continue provoking his competition. He did love to tease way back when they were in their teens while they were still being trained as warriors. And now, in front of his bloodthirsty werewolves, he truly felt that his victory was at hand. Everything you have, Aaron Keyser, will soon be mine. Every word felt like a knife going through his body. Never! I'll die first, before I let you take her from me. That can be easily arranged. Kaiden was already starting to merge with his equally crazy wolf Sion, when he felt a hard blow to the back of his head, and he fell face down to the ground. Good from him that it has been softened by the fighters' movements and spilled blood during their continuous battle. What the? He yelled as he spat out dirt from his mouth. He then looked up to see a vision, so orgasmic that he felt himself go instantly hard. Ooh, I can't believe what I'm seeing. My true mate. Have you come to watch me murder your fake mate? Diwa changed from her cinnamon-colored wolf to her human form, no longer caring who was in front of her or her being naked. She fearlessly walked between her hated molester and Aaron. Meanwhile, her mate was now speechless at how brave she was in confronting her demon and his would-be murderer. You demented crazy bastard. You really are so stupid and sick not to understand what I've said over and over again, even back then when you first tried to take me. You are not my mate. Aaron is my mate, and I love him. You need to understand that. You're so wrong, Di, and it's you who needs to understand. For years, I've waited for you to come back here, and now that you're standing naked in front of me, I can see you're ready for me. Kai stood up slowly, his throbbing erection in full display, and for a second, Di felt the memories bearing down on her again, and she took a step back. That was when Aaron held her by her arms, making her aware of his presence. She looked behind her and felt her heart twist in grief at what she saw. Despite him being bloody, hurt, and close to losing consciousness due to massive blood loss that his enhanced healing couldn't handle, he was still ready to fight for her. I'm sorry, Dee, for not following through with my promise, he gasped through his words. I'm sorry that I failed you before. I'm sorry that I failed you again. I never want to fail you again. Diwa turned around to face her repentant and weakened mate. I know my love and I forgive you. Please forgive me too. A loud, anguished, and frustrated scream echoed behind them. Diwa turned her head while Aaron automatically hugged her to him in an effort to protect her from the one behind her. You dare choose this unworthy excuse of a mate over me. He is soiled, dirty, unclean. But I kept myself only for you, Diwa. How can you choose him over me? Kaiden crazily screeched at Di, his gaze showing that he's close to completely losing it. But then, Diwa realized that he was also coming unhinged, because the truth had started to dawn on him. And she had every intention of pushing until he finally got it. I did not ask you to keep yourself for me, you sicko. Besides, you're the one who's dirty and unclean for forcing me to do things I don't want. I never wanted you. Get that through your fucking thick skull. Diwa, no. That's not possible. It was close. She could feel it. I love Aaron. I will stay with him and number one else. As she said those words, she turned around and pulled her mate to her, her lips hungrily taking his. It was after 3 seconds, when the couple heard a gut-wrenching screech of fury. Nua! Kill them. Kill them both! The circle of ferocious werewolves around the mates started closing in. The rogues steadily moved towards them, snarling and growling, sharp claws and fangs on full display. Aaron grasped at the last bit of his renewed energy, due to Diwa's affirmation of their love, and managed to merge with the now motivated Onyx. Diwa also changed to werewolf form, and placed herself behind her A, ready to fight back to back. Suddenly screams of terror and pain started exploding from the outer periphery of the rogue circle. A black wolf, followed by a silver wolf, both huge than most wolves, mowed their way towards Aaron and Diwa, taking out at least 5 enemies each before they got to the center. Add 5 more dead, seconds after they transformed into werewolves. With them on the aggressive, the dirty bunch of rogues started to scatter in different directions in complete panic and terror. But they never got far. At least 300 warriors from the Silvercrest pack came bearing down on them, all with the uninhibited intention to kill. "No! Damn you all!" Kaiden yelled and cursed, launching himself towards Aaron, shifting midair, merged with his equally desperate wolf Shan. He landed on his target, pushing him down to the ground, the beta finally giving in to his weakened state. The villain now started clawing at him, but Aaron managed to still fight bravely, allowing Kaiden a few random scratches only on his werewolf form's arms. Suddenly, Kaiden was violently kicked away from atop the beta, and he rolled quite a distance from the one who had managed to hit him strongly and severely. "Asshole, your fight is with me," Diwa announced, determined. "No more fear, no more doubts this time. I am so proud of you." Thanks, Opal. Now, time to bring this maniac down." Diwa jumped and landed with both feet on Kaiden's still turgid manhood and balls with so much strength that she was sure even his ancestors felt it. Her target's face grimaced into a prune-like expression while squealing like a kid. Yep. Probably up to the first generation, too. Di then jumped up high once more, connecting with a knee to Kaiden's jaw, WWF style. He instantly lost consciousness. All the rogues were now either dead or incapacitated. Except for Brenner, who was the one responsible for knocking out Myron and Raquel, so he could hide and protect them. Alexia and Antoine had joined the group later in the fight to make sure none of their enemies escaped. Meheron and V were now surrounded by their warriors giving their updates. All of them were naked, bloodied, but still standing. However, all of their attention had now settled on a particular unclothed pair in the middle of the clearing, now embracing and kissing each other passionately. Everyone smiled as they realized that this happy couple, who were now finally together, was the biggest proof that they have won. And the biggest winners were Dee and Aaron. "Are you ready, Cupcake?" Aaron asked his mate as he finished pulling up his backpack and swinging it expertly behind his back. "Yeah, just finished," she answered, a full smile on her face. Aaron had never seen her this happy. Now that there were no more secrets or hidden worries, she was completely comfortable in her skin and was totally at ease. The couple walked towards the pack house parking area, directly approaching Aaron's car. "After you, Cherry Tart," he smiled, opening the door for her. "Thank you, my love." He then rushed to the driver's side, got in, and drove to their destination. The safe houses of one of the richest, largest, and most powerful packs in the region were actually very private, truly charming, and fully equipped for any eventuality. The one they had chosen to use looked like any regular cabin deep in the woods. However, it's been stepped up with quite a few luxuries that any wolf could possibly need. Honestly, for what they were planning to do, Aaron and Di didn't need a safe house to hide. The thing was, after everything that had happened the 2 previous days, it didn't surprise them much when they were sent off for the night of the full moon by their Alpha, and their Luna, the Gamma, and Dr. Alexia for that matter. Even the twins cheered and giggled when Di and Aaron were told to leave the pack house for the night, not to mention their new best friends. Lena's toddlers have also laughed at the announcement, to everyone's surprise. "So, yes, apple pie," said Aaron as he opened the car door for her. Nothing," she replied as they walked towards the rustic and charming cabin, hand in hand. "Tell me, please, we promised. No more secrets, Dee," the beta murmured as they walked up the porch. "I was just thinking about that crazy thing you did." "Which one? You mean all of them, right?" Aaron said with a chuckle, using an old-fashioned key to open the door. "The thing of abandoning everything to go after me," she said in a whisper. It was starting to get dark, and the moon had now started to rise. They both stared at that silvery sphere for a while, feeling the energies flowing through them because of this special night. A then took Di in his arms, carrying her the same way he did during the first day he brought her to his apartment. "You want me to do it again?" he asked with a naughty smile as he settled her down on the sofa, then sitting beside her. "Of course not. I just wanted to thank you. And hope you never do it again, but, yes. Thank you for loving me that much." He grinned widely, then kissed her lovingly, tenderly. They were used to making love, but this time, since it was a special occasion, things were gentler, slower, less hungry, and more tender. For now, at least. Want to have dinner first. Only if the dinner is you. He chuckled, kissed her once more, then carried her again in his arms. He then slowly walked towards the bedroom. Within the next half hour, they spent their sweet time covering each other's body with soft kisses, holding each other with tender caresses. Aaron made her come a few times in his mouth before getting on top of her. He got lost in Dee's buxom breasts, intoxicated by her scent, then let himself in. Slowly he slid in and out, allowing his love to take over above and beyond his passions. Deewa was now more in love with her mate, more than ever. After the many things he had done, proving himself to her, she now hungered for him intensely, enjoying every inch of him as his manhood explored her slowly. Lovingly, he had missed her so much. Even now, as he felt her in his arms, still awestruck that she had agreed to their mating ceremony, to be his for the rest of their lives. All these made him feel beyond desiring her. There was contentment, peace, and pure bliss. As he continued to thrust inside of her, he looked into her eyes and saw pure love, surrender, and devotion. And he also loved her, with his body, his mind, and soul. And only now did he find the true meaning of their pack's age-old ritual. It wasn't just to consummate your passions and exchange the marks, but to deeply understand their deep feelings, feel the bond in its more mystical sense, which would allow them to be together as one. Their bodies were perfectly synced in their movements, and not for 1 second did they stop gazing into each other's eyes. They were savoring their special bond, allowing them to feel what the other felt, allowing them to be taken to somewhere that's beyond surreal, more than spiritual. They were now so close to coming, and the urge and sensations were more than whatever they have ever experienced before. It felt as if their lives depended on the next thrust, the next kiss, and the next touch. Driven by their instincts, their bodies fitting perfectly together, almost merging completely, they now felt the climb, the peak. And as they climaxed with an intensity that they have never thought possible, their lips found that special spot on their necks. And they allowed their wolves' fangs to grow. Then they bit each other in unison. Electricity surged through their bodies, sparks and white lights floated around them. And as they plunged from their orgasm, place and time, sounds and vision, everything disappeared for them, except for that singular special, someone whom they have just marked, Deewa. That was, by the goddess, I have never known that it could be like this. Neither do I. It was beautiful. And now you're mine, and I'm yours. Finally, they were one. So, the single mom woke up the next day to a delivery van full of gifts and a big Christmas tree. Upon asking the men who brought the gifts over, she found out that everything came from her new boss, the same man who brought her and her children to an amusement park the night before. But at the back of her mind, she started to worry again that these presents may have some strings attached. The story sounds so familiar, Seal told her mate, with a smile as she watched her children enjoying another storytelling session with Myron and Raquel. Also, how many bonfires does your pack celebrate? Anyway, as many as we can, Elena and I am quite thankful, answered the alpha as they continued to eat and drink at one of the banquet tables nearest the large pile of burning firewood. It gives me more opportunities to introduce you as my mate. I hope that doesn't mean I'm now going to be pressured to live here because I'm the supposed Luna to the alpha of the Silvercrest pack, like I've promised you even before Christmas, princess. It will always be your choice, and I will never push you to do anything that you don't want to do. All right. So you aren't going to force your Christmas present on me. V looked at Seal with furrowed brows. The Roadster? I thought you didn't want it. Oh, I want it. But I don't want to receive it without giving you something in exchange. But Elena, that wouldn't be a gift anymore. All right. What about exchange gifts? So you let me give you a present in exchange for the Roadster. What do you say? V's right eyebrow shot up. I'd accept a handkerchief from you just so you accept my Christmas present. Well, what I'll offer you is a little more exciting than a handkerchief, V. Okay, let's hear it. Seal whispered into V's ear, and the alpha's face showed shock, amazement, and delight all at the same time. Are you sure, Elena? That can't possibly. I mean, coming from you. I just need a yes or no, V. And I hope it's a yes. By the goddess, of course. How can a man say no to such an offer? All right then. Back to the story. Unfortunately for V, he could no longer concentrate on the tale being told at the bonfire. His mind kept shifting to the offer he just got from his mate, and was still torn up about it. Well, I'd say yes to anything so I can give her my Tesla Roadster. Plus, I can manage to keep our sessions tame. But no safe word. I can't believe she trusts me that much. And the alpha threatened the man that if he ever harms his mate and his children again, he will pay him back, not with dollars, but with blood. The villain laughed and threatened the CEO werewolf back, saying that if anything happened to him, he would expose him to the woman he loves, and she would forever see him as a monster. The thing was, the alpha had other plans. Well, our villain will never be able to do anything bad to you anymore, my fruit pop. Even before his sentence was finally carried out, he was still unrepentant. Like, he really still believed you two really had something going on. He's a real psycho, that one. I'm just glad it's my brother who was chosen to complete his punishment. The thought of you or me dealing with him still gives me the chills. Yeah, I know. Trauma is a bitch. Well, Alexia is very willing to put me under a program to help me with that. And I'm no longer too proud to accept help. Or to admit when I'm wrong. Diwa, you were a victim. Yes. And I don't have to stay that way, especially now that I have you. As the alpha would always say when talking about his mate, he can wait. So can I? Cheese puffs. From here on after, you decide when you want to visit the pack house. Meanwhile, I'll find time in between my tasks as beta to visit you at your house in the city, and no pressure whatsoever. Whatever makes you happy. Okay. Diwa felt a painful twist in her heart. There you go again, giving up everything you want for me to be happy. I told you not to do that again, remember? So let me give you something too, please. Only if you want to. Die. Okay. What if I come over here during weekends at least once a month and you can visit my house anytime? I can give you your own key. Aaron's small smile stretched to a happy puppy grin. Anything you want. Pumpkin pie. Anything at all. And, as the man was confronted by the females he had wronged, the Gamma brought in the cops to bring the villain to jail. Unfortunately, the Alpha's mate, as she overheard one of the policemen call the CEO Alpha, started to doubt her man. She then asked her boss to enter her house and asked for an explanation. He answered her questions as honestly as he could, and she seemed to be open to the truth. And then he shifted in front of her. I can definitely relate to her. Imagine my surprise back then, finding out that you're from a rival pack, the Gamma female whispered into M's ear. Meharon's hardness was now starting to tint his pants as his mate's sultry voice and warm breath tickled his ear. And no, he was not making any effort to hide it. After all, he couldn't exactly keep his heat hidden from his mate, who can smell it even if they were a quarter of a mile apart. The same applied to him, of course, and as the story of the Alpha of the Silvercrest pack continued to be told and presented to the eager audience, M took this time to look at his bro. At the other side of the circle of banqueting tables and chairs, he found himself smiling at the joyful and blissful looks of his sister, and at how Aaron had his arm around her in a tender and protective manner. As if his friend felt someone's eyes on him, the beta finally looked towards M and gave him a smile, and a small salute. Meharon responded with a nod. Now that you understand what I understood 2 years ago, Aaron, I know you and my sister will be very happy together. In the same way, I am happy with my mate now. I'm just glad you learned this, just in time. I look forward to hearing your story at the bonfire come Valentine's Day. An hour later, fireworks erupted in the sky. The DJ started playing dance tracks, and everyone stood to start the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. The cheers were deafening, as everybody in that party began to dance the night away as they welcomed the start of a more hopeful and prosperous year for their pack. And we wish the same for you.